This episode of the GameOverGreggy Show is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. There's no reason to use a cheap disposable razor or pay a ridiculously high price for gimmicky, unnecessary nonsense. Make the smarter choice and join Dollar Shave Club, the key to getting a fantastic high-quality shave at an affordable price. And right now, they're giving away a 1-month trial of any of their razors for $1 with free shipping. How do you know these are good? Tim Gettys has been using them. He's trimming up this whole section. Because you might say, Tim Gettys has a beard. What's he doing? But I guess if you have the beard, you still have to keep it in check. I wouldn't know because I'm like 13 when it comes to facial hair. There's no long-term commitments, no hidden fees, and you cancel whenever you want. Get your $1 trial at dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Greggy. Clean. That's not their catchphrase. I just made it up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy Show. And before we go any further, you probably know Colin Moriarty has left Kinda Funny. If you didn't, surprise! We're breaking the news that way.
Here's your birthday present.
We did a Kinda Funny morning show explaining all this on March 13th. You can catch it there as a podcast or whatever. There, we said on the next GameOverGreggy Show, Colin was going to join us, do one final episode. Colin has asked to delay it. He's a lot of balls in the air. Knowing him, there's a lot of balls all over the place with him. But he's figuring out some things, and he wants to come in and do one thing that he would like to think, I think, being a little bit about the past and what we've done and where he's going on top of that. So that's why he's not here now. Nothing's wrong. Everything's cool. Chill out, everybody. I just wanted to be up front and get out of the way. Over here, the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Greg.
Hello, how are you?
I am warm. It's nice and warm
too
outside. It's
goddamn hot.
It's not too hot.
It is
beautiful.
too hot. It's about 10 degrees too hot.
So you guys don't understand. We'll get to the gentleman sitting over here. You guys don't understand the virtue of the heat outside. We could barbecue right now. We could drink all night right now. We could just sit outside. It's gonna be fantastic.
Over there, the Pure One, Tim Gettys.
I'm all hot and sweaty. Let Tim host.
That is,
With
see,
the fan on. I'm drinking water.
On
the
today's
ice
morning
tastes
show.
like styrofoam. It's a whole fucking
I hate it when the ice does that, right?
Change your filters.
Yeah, well, that's a Kevin job. I'm not going to
sounds
do
like
that.
a
Yeah.
Kevin.
But that's the thing is, like, yeah, when we went out there and we drank the beers during the morning show today, that was a lot of fun. Sure.
pleasure.
But then it's like, all right, now it's just too hot in the building.
Now I'm just hot.
It's just no fun.
Now I'm all sleepy.
Yeah.
Oh, day drinking.
And joining us in a Tim Ash shirt,
I love it.
Stu.
Look at them shits.
How's it going, guys?
Get on that mic, Stu. Now, Stu, this is your first appearance on the GameOverGreggy Show.
Yes, sir.
But literally every story Nick tells somehow involves you.
Yeah,
My
right.
buddy Stu.
I've
I
told
love
a
it
lot of-
because two of our very close friends, Nick Scarpino and Sean Finnegan, they exclusively describe their friendships with Sean Finnegan's buddy Lane.
Yeah, his buddy Lane.
And Nick's buddy Stu.
Yeah, my buddy
Where
Stu.
it's like
Nice.
the word buddy, it's kind of like those
Buddy
guys
Stu.
like Mike Pope.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like you got to refer to him as
Ramon.
like the first and last name.
Oh,
like they
not
have
even like that.
that thing going, but
Gotcha.
you are just my buddy Stu.
Gotcha.
That's right. Nick and I met in middle school.
Yeah, we've been friends ever since.
Seventh grade is what you said earlier?
Seventh grade. So
Seventh
that was
grade.
what?
I'm
Sure we'll get to that. I'm
1962.
sure we'll get to that story.
Yeah, that's a fantastic story. It's one of my favorite stories. I can tell it now, or we can wait.
No, I want to get. I mean, the first
wanna
thing
get
is
right into it?
obviously you. So, in case you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the GameOverGreggy Show. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can get each and every episode early, along with a bunch of exclusive goodies and perks. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where I post the entire show topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video in MP3. Stu,
Nice.
how the fuck did you meet Nick Scarpino?
All right, so Nick and I went to different elementary schools.
did.
He went to the rich kid elementary school in the
It
newer
was the
part of
newer-
Riverside.
Explains a lot.
It
Explains
was
a
not
lot.
the rich kid. It was the
Well,
newer elementary
the
school.
richer part of Riverside. So you
it
know,
was yeah.
I went to a different school, so we met in. Sorry,
Don't be afraid of this.
Okay.
Get on this thing, move it with you.
Okay, check 1, 2.
Work the shaft.
So we met in middle school, where our two elementary schools joined.
Yeah.
Now in summer school, leading up to middle school, I had a
think I was
class,
in what were you in? I was in pre-algebra.
health sciences.
Okay.
So you weren't in trouble. You were just going to school for fun. Parents
summer
were saying-
school.
No, here's what happened.
Summer school's when you fuck up and you got to take
Yeah,
the
Nick
extra
and I are
class.
both dorks. We were in band.
We were-
Yeah,
we-
summer school for the
over-
nerd kids means something different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's when you get to
Opportunity to
keep
get-
hanging out with
yeah.
your friends.
But it ended up being chick crazy. So I was
Chick crazy.
I was a
7th grade chick crazy.
That's right. I was
Okay.
a dork in elementary school. I was a gate geek in the accelerated gifted and talented
Oh, okay.
education.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
All the other
after
kids
a
made
while.
fun of me. Gate geek, that's what we were. So I had no chance of any girl the whole time I was in elementary school. In fact, leaving elementary school, we had a dance.
This is starting already to explain so much about you.
Leaving elementary school, I had a dance. I asked the girl I had a crush on to dance.
Yeah.
She said no. I went home. Didn't
You
dance
had
with anybody.
elementary school dances?
Yeah.
That sounds
We didn't have
crazy.
that. We
I
didn't
want to
have
say,
that.
like,
We
yeah, I
just
didn't have
rollerbladed together.
Yeah.
We didn't have a dance until like 7th grade.
There was one girl that had boobs in 5th grade, and that was weird.
So, on that note, I was dating that girl, right?
In 5th grade?
I was 6th grade going into 7th grade.
okay, that's
There was a
different.
girl that I was 6th grader as well. So we're dating, and I was like, I'm in love
And
with this girl.
what does dating mean to you in 6th
Yeah, she
going into
lived up the
7th
street
grade?
from me. We
Yeah.
would go.
Uh-huh.
The whole point at when you were in 6th grade, for me, was to try and figure out how you can make out with this girl. It was just about making out.
How do you kiss?
That's
Yeah.
all it was. Like we would fantasize about it. And you know, when you're a kid, this was the first time I had ever had a huge crush on someone.
She was
right?
smoking hot.
She was smoking. Who knows? And back then, little Nick was
She
like
was
this.
smoking hot.
She is stepped off
smoking hot, and she got
a
even hotter,
Sports
too.
Illustrated.
She did.
You know, what's worse about it is we'll tell the aftermath of this story in a second. But so anyway, I was dating this girl.
In 6th grade, end of 6th grade.
And this is great. I had asked her to go out with me, right? Which meant that she was officially my
Your
whatever
girlfriend.
girlfriend was, right?
When hold on. When
So
does your
summer's-
elementary school end?
6th grade is
grade.
elementary school.
Yeah.
7th grade is where junior high starts for us.
Got it. See,
Okay.
for
So now-
us, 5th grade is where elementary
okay.
school ended. So that's why I'm like, there's
So,
no
yeah.
dance in 5th
So
grade.
summer school leading into 7th grade, I have a class with his current girlfriend and her other couple friends
Sure.
that are also smoking hot.
Yeah, they were smoking hot.
So, and I'm the new blood. So here I come
New
in,
blood.
dorky, little geeky Stu. I was like, I was
Super blonde.
5'3". I'm 6'3" now. I was 5'3" until I was like 16. So
Okay,
I was
okay.
the short little guy, very fair skin. They call me
Were
Casper.
you pudgy? Were you pudgy like Nick?
No, you were real
Not
thin.
as pudgy as
Okay.
Nick. I was pudgy, but
Okay.
I wasn't,
You
I wasn't
were
stripping my shirt off like, check it out.
You
but-
did in high school though. You got a little jacked out in high school.
Little
We'll
bit.
get to that later.
So I'm new blood in the summer school class.
Yeah.
And they all fawned over me, loved me. I couldn't freaking believe it. And all of a sudden, Nick's girlfriend wants to go
Nick's
out
6th grade
with
girlfriend,
me.
okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's.
But
let's
she's
do
in a
it.
relationship with Nick.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Oh, no.
I'm like,
This
whatever.
is-
I'm
oh,
like, screw
no.
that guy. She
Days
was
of our
telling me all the
lives.
stories. He's a jerk. He's this and that.
Committed relationship with me. I think we're getting married. We are well on our way to like
Yeah.
2.5 kids, a picket fence, the whole thing, right?
And I don't know
I mean,
who
I
Nick
love
is.
this girl.
I never met Nick before in
Sure.
my life. So I'm like, oh, screw him.
Fuck this
Right.
guy.
Yeah, who is? Yeah, come on. I'm your
doesn't
guy.
matter.
Yeah.
So I can't remember how the bad news was broken to me.
Well, first of all, I should say the first time, so I'm now with her. And then I see Nick, like, at snack time or something, whatever, in summer school. I'm like, oh, that's your ex-boyfriend? That dude right there? He looks like Steven Seagal. He's gonna, like,
Oh
freaking
my
kill me.
God! Don't put that in his
Yeah.
head.
Oh, he
did.
does. He did.
Fucking loved it. I loved it.
So that's the, but.
Now, this
like-
one I was taller than Stu too.
Oh, yeah, he
so
would've
I was
killed me.
like, I think I had a good couple inches on him. I definitely had probably like
He would've
15,
killed
20
me.
pounds on you.
Yeah. So I was scared of Nick, and then 2 weeks later, she dumped me.
Yeah. So before we get to that.
Sorry.
I get the news broken to me. I'm heartbroken, and obviously
How does she break the news?
I can't
A
even
note? She
remember.
passed you a note?
I think it was just like a quick conversation in passing. Because I mean, again, this
wasn't a
torrid
text.
love affair had taken place over the span of maybe a month and a half. It wasn't like I had been dating her for years. It was end of 6th grade. I think I like you. We maybe got close to making out. We sat on my lawn for a little bit, and then summer school started, and all of a sudden it was like, I don't like you anymore. I'm going with this guy, right? And I was like, who the fuck is this blonde asshole? And I'm gonna kick his ass, right? And all my other friends were like, you should definitely kick his ass. I'm like, yeah.
go home
yeah,
to Shadowbox?
Shadowbox.
I don't think I shadowboxed then.
He did, not yet.
But actually, at no point in this time was I like, I'm gonna get into a fight with this guy. I was
Sure.
I was crushed. I was heartbroken. Now we had this other friend, Todd.
Yeah.
Our buddy Todd,
Who was my
like,
friend.
His friend,
And he was
he was a big motherfucker.
same size, if not bigger than
No,
Nick.
he was
Okay.
he was definitely
Okay.
like I remember him just being ogreishly tall, and he would just stare at me, right? And he used to wear this gigantic. He had this big ass
The Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles, like one of those things you wear to the games. So they're like
Starter jacket?
You could fit
no,
like
they're
a 12-pack.
They're like
So-
long.
Oh, like the long winter
with
coat?
felt inside, so you
Jesus,
wear them.
that's
like,
gotta be hot down there.
So anyway, he looked like Bruce Willis from that fucking M. Night Shyamalan.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, Unbreakable. And he was terrifying. And I heard like people used to tell rumors about him that he like used to like do crazy shit like steal Crystal Pepsi. So he would go to like
From
liquor
CVS.
store or CVS and he would steal Crystal Pepsi.
I
was like,
heard
this dude-
rumors about him like
I was like,
He
this
got
dude's
caught.
gonna
It's
kill
true.
me. And he was like hella mad dogging me, right? So the beginning, so I was like, I don't like any of this thing. And then I think your timing, like I think summer school ended.
Okay.
And when we got back, like when the year started, I found out that she broke up with you.
Right.
And
we had a class.
And started dating Spencer. Remember Spencer?
Fuck Spencer.
Fuck Spencer.
And
right.
Spencer dated her for like 2 years. And Spencer was like this little dude.
He was even smaller than both of us.
Yeah, he was tiny. And he had this cool Adidas jacket because he was a soccer player.
player.
And everyone was like, and it like started a whole trend. It started a whole trend of all these people wearing. And I even at a certain point was like, I
had to buy one too.
I had to get one. I
No,
got to get one of these
yeah.
fucking jackets. And so I think, I can't remember how it worked out, but I think it was Miss Wiley's class.
Yeah.
Where we were sitting around and I was like, hey man, I'm sorry that she broke up with you. And you were like, I'm really sorry that she broke up with you to date me. But you're also like, but, I got scared. And I was like, and then Todd was like, does anyone want a Crystal Pepsi? And then it ended up being like,
right.
It ended up just, we all three of us became best friends from that point on. Like, still to this day, like, we still talk. It's crazy.
I've never heard about Todd.
I've never heard of Todd. Todd's not one of your best friends.
Well, Stu, Ryan was in this circle as well. So
Okay,
Ryan, Crystal
okay.
Creasy was. Todd and I were really good friends until after high school, and then we fell out of touch. You talk to Todd every once in a while.
No, we've fallen out too a little.
Yeah.
Everything's
It's
shout out
just
to Todd.
Not for any
Sometimes.
reason, just normal life stuff.
Well,
Like, he
Crystal
has a
Pepsi,
family.
it's
He's
a
got
weird
real
choice.
Yeah.
Well,
He finally
Crystal Pepsi don't
got
get
pinched getting another Crystal Pepsi when it came back.
But yeah, it ended up being crazy because in that class was Stu, Todd, and my buddy Ryan, who you guys have met all the time. He works at Blizzard now. He's the one that got me the job at IGN, and he's the one that's like I vibed with him because he was playing the Robotech role playing game, and so we all started doing the thing where we were like
The coolest group of guys
we were
7th grade had ever
fucking
seen.
Nerds.
I didn't play the role-playing game. I don't want to make myself sound less cool or more cool by saying I just want to be honest.
Sure, all the facts on the table. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But so also then the other thing that was the kicker for all of us coming together was that we were all in band together.
Yeah.
as well. So I had started playing
Middle school
trumpet.
band and high school band.
And high school band. So
Yeah.
I had started playing
All the way,
trumpet
fully
in
committed.
5th grade, then
Yeah.
6th grade. Then when I got into 7th grade, we started the marching band together. And so I was like, I am really glad that I like these guys because they're in every fucking class of mine, including band. And when you're in band, you have band practice and all that stuff. And so like all your homies were from band. And you played
Drumline. I
Yeah,
was in
you
the
were
drumline.
drumline in that
Yeah.
as well, right?
Did you
The
respect
cooler
him?
instrument.
Did you respect him when he started leading the band?
Oh yeah, dude, Nick, you gotta.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Nick
I'm
was
sorry,
cool
I
as
don't mean to
shit.
jump around. I don't
Nick-
mean to jump
Stu
around.
and
I
I
thought Nick
became-
was cool as shit. I
Yeah.
still think Nick is cool as shit.
think
But
you're
he
cool
was
as
much
shit.
less cooler than he is now.
That's fair.
Much less cooler
also much
looking, I should say. Like,
I was pudgy back then. I was super pudgy.
but I thought he was
Yeah.
badass. The shadow boxing, that was for real. I was like his
Did you ever
sparring
see it?
partner. I was like a sparring partner. He'd like come home from karate practice. He'd be like, "Yo, Stu, come over. I found some new moves. I want to try them out." I'm like, all right, cool. Have some Cokes, have some pepperoni sandwiches, and then go out in the lawn.
The
and
breakfast of champions, Coke and pepperoni
we were
sandwiches.
his
early,
mom
bro. This is
stocked the
dinner.
stuff.
I know.
waking up early.
Stocked and candy too. Lots of candy.
Yeah?
all the candy
man.
you
The
want.
Scarpino family was taking care of you?
Man, we just had lunch, and I said to Nick, the longer I get to know you, you just get more and more Nick. And I love that it works backwards too, where it's like, okay, cool, we're meeting
For
someone that knew
sure.
you since you were 12, and you were just somehow even more Nick back then too.
Fully Nick.
This is fantastic.
We were. I mean, we weren't like. That's the thing. We never did anything crazy. We weren't like.
You weren't like Todd.
Smoking cigarettes.
We would
stealing the
smoke-
Crystal
like
Pepsi.
Stu and I had our first few cigarettes together because my
Yeah.
brother and his friends used to smoke, and so he would let us party. And like basically, Stu was the other guy that had to clean up the party
right.
with me. So Stu would come over. And like we would hang out with my brother and his friends, who we all thought were like these amazing like adults, even though they were
Shout
only
out to Big
4.
Matt. Big
You know,
Matt
we were
Scarpino.
13, they're 17, and we thought they were the coolest fucking people on the planet. And that's why we started smoking because they smoked.
Right.
and
Even though the
then-
first time I ordered Swisher Sweet cigars.
You did.
Because I was a little scared to inhale. So I started
Sure.
out with the cigars.
Yeah.
My dad smoked cigars.
Yeah,
Felt
yeah.
more comfortable with the cigars.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't put anything
How
in.
old
I just
were you?
smoked them. Like 15.
That's a good look
Yeah.
for a
15,
15-year-old
yeah.
walking around with some
They're
Swisher
cherry
Sweets.
dipped.
Oh, yeah.
Kids, don't try them.
No, they're terrible.
But they were
we
very
did-
tasty.
We did that.
Gotta get on that
tasty.
mic.
Oh, sorry.
We did
tasty.
that, and we did cloves were next. Remember when we went through our cloves phase?
Yeah.
Because all the girls liked cloves, so we would be like, oh, let's get past
Cloves
the
are
cloves.
bad,
Like-
though.
like, you know, we would share that, and we'd have something to talk about. And Stu and I got the reputation for being like,
The cloves
like,
guys.
well, we were like smokers. They were like, oh, they're smoking like crazy. Like in high school, it's like, it's the,
Yeah,
like,
no, that was
crazy
a big.
thing
If
to
you
do.
were smoking in high school, like, I mean, there was no one in my high school that smoked because we were a bunch of fucking nerds.
Yeah.
So it was just like, if you did smoke, you were like, oh shit.
I know.
Like, that guy is a fucking badass. Like, I don't even want to
Not
talk.
us,
to him.
Those
I'm
band kids are
scared.
badass.
Yeah, see, I think the only reason why Stu and I smoked was to counteract the band.
The band? That makes
you know,
sense.
Yeah.
Smoking was kind of conceived as cool, which is
Yep.
not, by the way. Don't do it. But then band was like, let's just put it right back down to nothing.
So that's so
Let's
because
put that to
I
zero.
would just go with band was the cool kids.
Interesting.
Like if you were in
Sounds like heaven.
ROTC, you
Yeah.
were one of the fucking nerds doing ROTC.
Wow,
Band
okay.
was like
Supporting our
you're
country
fucking-
was
you're
funny, huh?
fucking making it.
So to put it in context, we went to a very fascinating high school. We went to John W. North High in Riverside, California, and go Huskies. And it was a school that had the International Baccalaureate program. And what that was, it was like advanced placement classes that Stu and I would both take, and as well as my other friends, Ryan and Clay and Todd. All those guys would do that. But we also it was also kind of lower like income as well. So we had all these people that were super smart that would come all just for the International Baccalaureate, but then we had fucking awesome sports. Like we would just dominate
like
people
right next
in
to the
football
hood,
and
yeah.
basketball. Baseball was pretty good too. Like Adam Kennedy, who used to play for the Angels, used to play on our team. Like he went to school with my brother, and we went to school with his brother.
He pulled the barbell off my chest when I was working out at Roman Gables.
you were dying?
That was nice
I was
of
like,
him.
I can't get it. He's like, oh, let me get that for you. I'm like, huh. What's up, Adam?
Yeah. So,
Thanks for saving my life, dude.
So the cool guys in our high school were the traditional cool guys, the guys that like
The jocks.
Yeah, the jocks. But the crazy thing was, it was this weird world where like I was in theater and band, and they would come to see the shows, and they would just like us. Like they weren't like going out of their way to hang out with us, but we never got picked on. No one ever gave a shit. Like they were like, oh, these guys are just in band. Like it was I shit you not, one of the only experiences that I could even imagine where like the football team would like
That's
applaud
true.
for us when we came off the field. And they're like, good job, guys.
That's true, because we had that good beat.
guys.
We had the awesome cadence. We had a really good drum line.
Oh yeah, we used
Sure.
to do it, and then we would sit up in the, we
play
sit in the
that
stands
beat,
and, like
play
do it
that
for 'em,
beat.
and they would be like, you know, like that, and just go and fucking destroy people on.
Yeah.
So it was actually a very positive
Good.
experience.
Yeah, none of the jocks had any problems with us until you try to take one of their girlfriends or something like that.
No, he wasn't a jock. He had friends that were jocks, and
was
that
a soccer
caused the
player.
divide. Was he a soccer player?
All right, let's rewind. Nick, what happened?
So, Stu will attest to this. My freshman year band camp, I fell in love with a girl.
Freshman year band camp.
This one
Freshman
time
year
at band camp.
This literally this one time at band camp. This is obviously you're starting high school. This is your first time in high school. This is 3 weeks before the school starts. We did do summer school. That was just for junior high, and so we start band camp, which traditionally I think was 2 weeks before the school year was supposed to start.
Right.
And we meet all of the people that are in band, and it was my first time meeting anyone that was. Like, you know, when you're in 8th grade, you're like, we're the king shit. And you go back to being freshmen. So there's sophomores, juniors, and seniors. We met a group of sophomore girls
The drill team.
one of whom I fucking fell in love with. And she was the girl that I had a crush on all throughout high school.
And I had a crush on her basically best friend.
Yeah, best friend.
Yeah.
And so
Tale
You're like, it's
old as
perfect.
time.
And they were both, we get married together.
Yeah.
They're
we're
only
gonna
1 year
have
older,
kids
but in
at the
high
same
school that
time.
might as well be like 10 years
yeah,
older.
they might have.
Yep.
They were so sophisticated and ridiculous. We had no choice, right? So
They were women.
So
you were
hot, though.
boys.
that's
Definitely.
true. And so
true.
I just had this enduring crush for this girl for like 3 years. And I managed to date a couple other girls and eventually got through it because she actually, the same time I met her, my other really good friend was there, and he ended up dating her. And so I was like, oh well, I can't. Like I got to just get over this.
I can't engage.
I can't engage.
I can't pull a Stu.
That's how I know. No, Stu.
I didn't know him. You knew.
Whereas I was like, well, because the girl that he liked, we didn't give a fuck about who she was dating. She was like the it girl.
She would date like college dudes.
Yeah, she was like, it didn't matter because she was so like she was such a cool, like beautiful,
And she was
person,
super
like-
flirty, so it was like
Yeah.
very misleading. I'm like, are you flirting or do
Yeah,
you
she
like
was like,
me
I don't
or am I
understand what's
just
happening?
I don't know.
But Stu hung in there. Whereas I was like, I have to bow out because my
true.
homie's dating this girl, and like I can't. It's just never gonna happen. There's just no way I can make this
I
happen.
did
right?
eventually hook up with my crush.
You did eventually. You fucking hung in there.
five, sir.
And you
High
hooked
five.
up with it.
It was
And
fantastic.
It's coming true.
I remember there was one time when I was like, Stu couldn't accomplish anything because we were on a band trip up to Fairfield, and I looked over and Stu and this girl that I had a crush on, Stu was like fell asleep on her boob, and was like drooling onto her boob, and she was just like petting his head, and I'm like, Stu's gonna make out with her, like this is fantastic.
Stu's gonna make out with her.
Anyway,
Living vicarious.
so the girl that I liked, and I don't think I ever told her that. I'm pretty sure she knew, but I never had the balls to be like. Eventually, she
Yeah.
broke up with my friend and started dating this other guy, and so I was like such an insecure little shit that I was like, I fucking hate this guy.
He hated him.
because he took the girl that I like, and is now like in my brain. I'm thinking he's like deflowering her, and
Yeah.
like destroying her, like
he was like your
her
typical
purity and
cool
all that.
soccer jock.
Yeah, he had like a cool lowered like Honda
Civic,
Civic, and
yeah.
he was just. I mean, I had literally this poor guy. I never talked to me before. Never said anything to me. Didn't know who I was, and I was just like, "You have my ire, my friend. Like you are like I'm like fucking Steve Buscemi or the Adam Sandler. I'm like writing his name down and lipstick on the list
Yeah.
for one day. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my revenge on you." And so I wrote. I was like, such a fucking idiot. In her yearbook going into senior year, I was a sophomore. She was a junior. We're going into the senior year. And I said, have a great summer. I hope your boyfriend dies. Nick.
Jesus,
He's subtle.
Nick.
Nick's a subtle guy.
Joking. ish. But like, man, if you'd done it, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. I'd console her, and then I'd be like, let's go out to get some pizza.
Let's get married.
So that night, I get a call.
Oh my god.
Hey man, this is so and so. I don't want to mention his name. I'm not really cool with that shit that you wrote in my girlfriend's yearbook. Like, I feel like that's disrespectful. And he said it in a much more harsh way, but like when you're a kid, you hear just like them fighting words. And so I, in my infinite wisdom, said something totally.
Nick did not handle it well.
I did not handle it well.
He just one-upped him. And
I took it up a notch. I doubled down.
I think I might have actually been there when
You were there.
Oh no, you hyped each other up.
And I was like, who the hell is he talking? Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah. And so
And Nick laid into him. I'm like, man.
all I would have had to say was, you know what, dude? You're absolutely right. I apologize.
No.
Like, that was an inappropriate thing to put in someone's yearbook. Like, no big deal. Remember that statement, right? Because for the next year, this mad dogging, all of a sudden, and this dude's friends were like he was like friends with the wrestling
One
team.
of them was known to carry a gun.
This dude carried a gun, like
He did.
legit.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, we went to the Hood's high school.
We went to the hood high
We did
school.
not go to Poly.
And
we
so
went
I was
to
like,
Newark.
I went from being loved by everyone to all of a sudden having the fucking wrestling team pissed at me and the soccer team pissed at me and like all these people and like they would drive
was it,
by
though.
and it was like mad dog and all shit. So one day, and by the way, in amongst this, Stu's like, you've got to get over this girl.
Please.
Like, stop talking about her. I don't want to hear about her anymore. Like, you got to get beyond this because it's ruining your
about this
fucking
girl?
life. Yeah, and then literally it was like, it was funny because eventually I got over and started dating this other girl who was a twin, and that was just the hottest thing on the planet.
Which I dated the other twin.
Yeah, he did. Stu and I had a lot of things together. But
Like when I hear Kevin and Tim's stories of them growing up, I'm like, you guys were too close than
No,
this.
yeah, so
It was
right when I
different.
cut my Steven Seagal hair and I lost the weight going into my junior year when I got when I became drum major, that band camp, I was just sitting down and I was like, yeah, I was looking pretty good. I'd lost some weight, had a lot of good juice, as Cool Greg would say, going into band camp. And this one girl, she was sitting there, and I always thought she was super cute, but I never had the balls to talk
Hold on,
to her.
before you finish that, before you get into the next girl, let's. I want to
You wanna go back
talk
to
about the
okay.
climax
So
of
the climax
original
is,
girl.
We're driving. I'm driving to school one day, and I see this dude's car, and
Oh,
I'm
God,
just like,
Lowered black
Nick.
Honda Civic, wheels, exhaust.
dope as shit. I think
It's
I think it was silver. I want to say it was like a dark
Bro,
gray.
it was black, bro.
Okay.
95. No,
I
no,
have-
96.
So pre-Fast and Furious.
He
Now,
had the
I-
bottom of the line Civic hatchback, aka Sport.
Yeah, we call it sport.
Did it have AC?
No. Oh, no, it had AC, but it was a 4-cylinder.
Okay, so one option.
I'm sorry, it was a 4-gear.
4-speed.
4-speed, thank you.
Manual.
Terrible. It was sky blue. It was the nerdiest fucking car anyone could ever buy.
If I remember from a previous GameOverGreggy show, this is
it's
like you just
terrible.
like that was like you went out and bought it and then like immediately regretted it.
And Stu, I remember I drove over to Stu's house and Stu went like this. What? Why? Why
like I
would you
said,
buy like a
SI or EX. You got like the DX.
Yeah, Stu got. By the way, Stu's driving like a badass Jetta. It was
That was modest. Cool.
It was awesome. Anyway, so I'm driving to school, and this guy's like speeding around, and I'm like, "Fuck this guy! Just fuck this guy!" And I'm like tailgating
Nick,
him,
no.
right? And I'm like, fuck this guy, right?
Just riding his
Well,
ass.
his car is a sport vehicle with sport suspension, lowered, better tires. My car, again, piece of shit. He goes, I'm on his ass, and I can't see through his window because it's tinted, and he just goes like this, and there's a truck right in front of him.
A bus.
And it was
Oh,
no,
I'm
it
sorry.
was
A truck
it
and
was
then a
truck
bus.
that hit the bus.
Right.
After I hit the person.
Right.
So yeah, I rear-ended this person.
No, not a person.
Sorry.
Some guys in between the bus and Nick is pow pow.
That's the first. That's
It was
the
a
first
double
time I-
homicide.
Yeah, I did homicide. So I unfortunately rear-ended this person in front of me. Not hard, but hard enough so that she hit the bus in front of her. And I was like, "This is the worst." What's up?
Didn't he turn around? Didn't he
Oh no.
come around?
Your mad
drive
dog and
back,
friend?
and honk?
Yes,
At you?
He did
and
in
wave?
fact do that.
Yeah.
And
so he really rubbed it
Pro
in.
move.
Yeah. So I mean, again, not just. He should have done that.
Okay, so
I
Nick's
was being
not
a
at
dick.
school. This is before cell phones and texting.
Right.
So like other people saw this car accident
Right.
and like told the school like, oh, Nick's not coming to class right now.
So then-
he had a crazy accident.
Right.
I'm like, oh snap. So he
So
comes like
rum-
at lunch.
So the rumors start flying.
yeah.
Oh no.
Nick's pissed. Right.
Nick's a big dude. He's looking like Steven Seagal. You don't
He's
want to mess
got-
with him. He shadow
he's got-
boxes.
yeah.
He's got power.
Nick and this guy gotten some beef on the road. There was a thing that happened. Nick's probably gonna want to fight this guy.
Nick's
Now
gonna
I
kill
was
him.
thinking the opposite. I'm thinking my mom is fucking livid and my car's in the shop and I don't know how I'm gonna get to work, like to school. And I just felt like a fucking idiot, right? So eventually that day, and I knew where he was coming from. I don't know why I did this. I just waited for him, and he came out. And I looked at him.
It was
and he
in
looked at
front
me
of the
and-
band room.
Yeah, it was in front of the band room.
Yeah.
And I had all my guys there, so I was like king shit because I had like the drum line there, and you guys were like
I'm like,
high
dude,
as
Nick's
fuck.
gonna kill this guy,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have so much street cred at this high school. I was just gonna jump right on Nick's back and be like, yeah, we.
So,
Nick's gonna kill this guy.
by the way, the guy, he was bigger than me. He was taller than me.
I've had full confidence that you were gonna take him down, bro.
I don't
you
know
were
about
gonna
that.
lead in with that step kick that you did, and then follow up.
I think by the way, knowing what I know
telling
now,
you.
I would have gotten my ass kicked because I think if his friends were wrestlers, they probably
They would have taken you to the ground in 2 seconds.
Yeah, it would have been
would've
wrestlers
been bad.
against band at that point.
That
That
would
would
have
have
been
been good.
terrible. And so he goes to me, he looks at me, and he's like, "We can't fight here. We're gonna fight, but we're going to the McDonald's parking lot after school to fight because if we fight off campus, they can't suspend us. Like they won't know about it." And I'm like, "Fuck that," because you have no one behind you, and I've got 20 dudes behind you. So I'm not thinking they're gonna jump in. I'm thinking it's gonna be a fair fight because again. His
Yeah.
dudes were like 6'4" fucking wrestlers,
They were
like
big dudes.
all state 220 wrestlers.
I hadn't hit my growth spurt
who
yet. I was still
Stu
5'3".
was still tiny.
Rail
And I'm
fin
like-
still?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was tiny. And so I'm like, fuck that, we're doing this right here, right? And we get in each other's faces. And I'll never forget this. I'm like, I don't know what the I'm like, I don't want to fight this guy. And I looked in his eyes and I'm like, I don't think he wants to fight me either. But we can't back down now because all of the fucking and like people are coming out of the theater right now to watch this shit's fucking crowds forming. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to get in a fight right now. And it's totally my fault. I'm a fucking idiot. And I'll never forget, I felt an arm go like this. And I was like, oh, thank God, salvation. It was one of the security guards that pushed us away. And she was like, it was a female, but she was intimidating. And I was never happier to see her in my entire life. She was like, both of you, come with me right now. And we go to the vice principal's office. And we were cooled down a little bit. And I think it was Mr. Garcia was his name. He's a really cool guy. And he was like, look, dude. And he knew me. And he knew both of us. And he was like, what's wrong with you two? What's going on? And he goes, well, and the boyfriend started laying out all the things that I had done. And I was like, and it finally hit me. I was like, I am the bad guy in this. I am the fucking asshole. It's not him. All he did was date a girl that he had no idea I even existed. And I am like stalking this guy. Like, what a fucking dipshit. And I was like, and I looked and he's like, yeah, I mean, you know, he just wrote this really fucked up thing in my girlfriend's yearbook. And like, I don't know. I think he's just kind of a dick. And Mr. Garcia looked at me and I'm like, you know what? I am kind of a dick. And I'm like, I'm not even kidding right now, man. I'm really sorry. Like, I should not have written that, and it escalated, and I didn't know how to handle it. Like,
the end of the South Park episode.
And I should have just apologized to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy's like, okay. And we shook hands, never talked again. That was it.
But they were cool. Like there was no
No, it
like
was fine.
animosity.
I would
even.
see him
It
and
was
I'd be
like,
like,
oh,
hey, man,
cool.
how's
Like
it
the
going? He's
friends
like,
stopped like
hello.
tripping on us, and
That's
like
fucking
everything was
cool.
cool.
And that's, I mean, that could have gone totally a different way. Like someone could have gotten really hurt. I could have been stupid. Could have like it was just bad. But yeah, that was the
When
only
crushes
time in my
go
life.
wrong.
Yeah, it's the only time in my life I really felt like there was that level of confrontation. And then after that, it was
It's exciting that you saw through it. So many people would bite down and continue to be the dick and be the asshole.
Well, I knew there was a thing in the back of my brain that was like, well, no matter how hard and cool you think you are, you know you can't fight. Like I'd never been in a fight before, and I'm like,
He's going to move more than the trees to shadow box.
Yeah, I'm like, this dude's gonna kick my fucking ass. Like, there's no way that my 6 months of kung fu is gonna really help me.
You would have had it, bro.
Yeah, he would have kicked my ass. But
But see, and then a couple months later, you cut your hair, you got new
Couple months
confidence,
later,
and you're
cut my
dating
hair.
a hot Filipino twin.
that's true. It was hot.
She
It
was
was
super
great.
hot.
Okay, you guys,
Yeah, that must have been
Best
sophomore
friends.
into junior.
dating twins.
Yeah.
How
So,
long did this last?
we-
how close was it when you guys got together?
It was very close because I feel
We didn't date at the same time.
No, we didn't date the same time. She was dating.
He
she was
dated
dating
the nice
our other
one, and I
friends.
dated the really mean one.
Yeah, she was so fucked up.
Really
Don't
mean.
be afraid of it. Carry it with you. Do this. Do this.
Oh, I can get
Yeah,
it.
we met. She was also on the drill team. The drill team girls were like, if you got a drill team girl, you were like the shit.
And they wore the tight black pants before yoga pants were even a thing.
Yeah. So so summer going into I think our junior year, I was sitting at the table and I just remember this really cute girl like laughing at me saying things, and my buddy was dating her sister who was the twin, and he was just like came up to me after and was like, dude, you know, she thinks you're funny, and I'm like, okay, and he goes, no, she likes you because of that. Like, this is a thing she actually likes you because of your personality, and I'm like, that's a thing. I don't understand, because when you're in high school, like your whole
Yeah, it's
Well, it's so surface. It's so
shallow.
surface
and
level.
so I don't understand. It was the first time in my life where I was like, and she was like, you know, she was really pretty and really sweet and really nice, and so she had dated like guys in my brain were like fucking, you know,
Better than you.
me in every physical possible way. And so it was very strange because I was like, it was the absolute first time in my life that I realized that I'm like, wait a minute, someone can like you because of who you are and how you act, not necessarily what you look like. Now again, I had cut the Steven Seagal hair, so the ponytail was gone. Thank God.
I can't even picture you without that. I don't even know what it
Without the ponytail?
That haircut, yeah.
Oh man, it was. Well, I
Was
went
it
like
parted or what was it?
It was like faux hawked, I think. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. A little
Yeah.
Nick
spiky.
with a faux hawk
yeah, a little
is
spiky
so
push
awesome.
forward.
Yeah, it was like the spike push forward thing. But that was when I had a better hairline, so it was a lot better than that. But yeah, so
hold on. So
What?
you're telling me that there's the twins, and one of the twins was dating another one of your friends?
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So
again-
before Stu, they were dating. This
Yeah.
is so high school.
It's crazy.
There's
No,
nothing
that's
more
the thing.
high school
It
than
all
this.
sounds so weird and incestuous now, but I remember high school. This
Across
is how it
4
all
years,
works. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, across 4 years. Everybody's
Anything
going
can
every
happen.
which
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so she dated me, and then after she and I broke up because it's high school and that's what happens, our other friend started dating her, and then her sister broke up with her boyfriend and started dating Stu. So it literally in our group of friends, we had all dated one of the twins. That's just the way it goes. Again, not disparaging them at all. It's high school. Like that's just what you did.
Yeah.
When I talk about dating, I mean these relationships lasted 3
3 months, and it was
Tops,
just like
right?
we
And it
kissed
was
a couple times.
Maybe I touched a boob, and that was pretty. And then
Yeah.
I went on, and that was pretty much it. I was also like, I also had a lot more scruples back then than I do now. I think because I was a virgin still, and like I knew that I didn't like her in that way, and she wanted to take the. She was like, confident in herself. She was like, let's have sex, and I'm like, I'm not.
I don't love you.
Well, I did. I was like, I don't feel that way about you, and I feel like it would be a bad thing to do if I were to. Like, I felt like I would be taking advantage of you, knowing that I don't want to date you anymore. And so instead of doing that, I took the high road, which was just to break up with her. She was like, "You're a fucking idiot," whatever. Okay, and then immediately dated my friend, and like they did whatever they were gonna do.
Yeah.
which was like
Lots of sex.
But lots of sex, and I was like, God damn. And then I looked back.
He told Nick about it in
Hold on.
detail
No,
all the
he
time.
was my other good buddy who, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, God damn it! I could have but then I still felt
But
good
you're a
about
nice
myself
guy,
'cause I
man.
was
You're a
like,
nice
I
guy.
didn't want to take advantage of that. And then I fell in love with another girl who was dating who
What
had,
boyfriend you tell you wish was dead this time?
No, I fell in love with this other girl because of theater. When you're in theater, like that, just the energy of sex, like sexual energy in the backstage is like right. And so I fell in love with this girl.
It's true. As a theater kid, that's true,
It's true,
Tim.
you don't know. You went
I remember
to
the first time. I remember my freshman year. This girl in the play who was a junior or senior or whatever. I remember her coming back and she took off her shirt and her pants and she was in her bra and her panties back there. And it was like,
Yes.
what the
That's theater.
fuck is
That's
happening?
theater.
There's a couple.
That's
yeah,
theater.
If I would have known
Now
about that,
that's
I would have
drama.
joined theater. I didn't know that.
It was the
about
only
that
time it
until
happened in my 4 years of plays, but
Oh no, I'll never forget. Like there's whatever. Like being in plays was fun, but it was because you got to perform. But it was also more fun because you got to be backstage. And backstage, when the lights were down, there was just this like sexual energy, and you would just lock eyes with someone and they just make out.
And Nick's a big flirt.
really,
Nick
that
likes
was
to
not
flirt.
what happened
Crazy.
with
There,
me.
no,
though.
there was
aggressive
literally.
flirting.
I remember that. I'm
yeah,
not
I've
gonna say her
noticed.
name,
Nick was an aggressive flirter.
No, there was just
Who
one.
dating
There was
himself.
literally just one girl, and I remember this one time, and I'm like, I never really talked to her before, and I just kind of looked at her, and she looked at me, and I was like, and we didn't even say anything. We just started making out. I'm like, this is the best fucking
like
life
La La
ever.
Land.
It is exactly like that.
That was the girl that was a couple of years older?
No, this
1 year
girl was,
older?
I think, younger than. I think she was a year younger.
This is the one that I dated then, again.
No, different girl.
Different girl.
Different girl. Yeah, you're
Okay.
talking about the one that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Again, very, very, not a huge high school either, by the way. So it was like,
No, I mean,
Actually was quite large.
It's just funny with
Dork
both
ratio to dork and cool
with you
people.
guys here and the way it all goes. It just sounds worse because I think about this too. If I remember in
Yeah.
junior high when we all started dating, I had a crush on this one girl. She didn't want anything to do with me in that sense. Her friend was like, "I'll date you," and I was like, "All right, cool." So we started dating. We break up. My friend starts dating the girl I dated, and then another friend started dating the girl I'd always had the crush, and it was just like, "Oh, my life's this is so crazy and difficult, and it's just like my so-called life." Oh, I'm learning.
oh
so much.
yeah. I mean, every time there was a breakup, it was like the worst thing that's ever happened to any of us
Yeah.
ever. And then a month later, when you found out that someone else liked you, you're like, "She's the best thing that's ever happened to me." I can't. Who's the other person? Doesn't matter. So yeah, the next girl that I was obsessed with was my buddy's ex-girlfriend, my really good friend's ex-girlfriend, and he treated her very badly, and she loved him for it, and it was unfortunate and very dysfunctional. And I liked her, she liked him, he liked this other girl, and she liked me.
Oh my god.
And
Is
so it
everybody
was-
at home writing this down and drawing it out? I
it
feel
was
like
a
this
weird square of instead of a triangle, it was a square, and so everyone liked the wrong person.
Yeah.
and it was like It was just the worst. But again, it's one of those things where when you're in the middle of it, you just bask in it because you're like, oh, that sweet high school drama bullshit.
Yeah.
Where like all I would have like now when I got to like my mid-20s and I started dating in San Francisco, I'd be like, hey, how's it going? And they'd be like, I don't like you. I'm like, cool. Hey, how's it going? Cool. Hey, how's it? Oh, you do? Cool. Let's go out. You know, like it just became so much easier because of all that drama of just being able to slough it off and be like, this person's just not into me. Whatever.
Well, that was the thing. I
I'm gonna
mean,
go on this
when
person.
you get to college and when you get out into adulthood about dating, right, is the fact that you never have to see someone again. The high school and junior high was always the fact of I'm gonna obsess and ask you out, and if this inevitably goes wrong, I'm with you another at least 4 years.
Well, that's the thing too, because there was middle school, and at least in my experience, your middle school you kind of stick to whoever is in your school.
Right.
But then once you get to high school, the
People get
middle
cars.
school goes to a bunch of different high schools.
Right.
So it goes from all right, I know one school worth of people to I know my high school plus all my friends have friends at the 4 other public high schools or whatever, and it's like, oh, and then there's those private kids that it just keeps on kind of like getting out, and then dances become this freaking minefield of like
Your high school had some weird dances.
me
Yeah.
had weird dances.
You talking to your microphone?
My high school had weird dances.
He yells at you all the time talking on the microphone. He just
What the
leans
fuck's
back
that
off
mean?
his. You had weird dances. What does that mean, Kevin?
Well, I
I
mean,
think all high school dances were
no,
weird.
like your high school didn't, like you said, people were having sex at on a table.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that.
It's not weird.
Oh, my friend.
Dude, when you were in high school, you could have
God.
sex. It
Never
didn't
had
matter
that.
where you were at. You were in high school. If
Wait,
someone
like-
had a blanket, you just put it over you. You'd have sex. You'd be in the middle of a fucking football
God,
game.
you guys had real high schools. Yeah, I did not have these kind of high school
Oh, dude,
experiences.
so
I was.
fu-
If
so
any
many
girl
of these
wanted
people-
to touch me, it didn't matter where we were at. I was like, let's go.
Let's just let it happen.
Let's go.
Yeah, no, it was high school in San Francisco in the 2000s was definitely a thing.
scene,
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my friends that were at Kind of Funny Live too, helping us in some way. They may or may not have been having sex on tables. And it's
What
like,
does that mean? I need more
They
context
were
of that.
having sex on a table.
That part I got, but I mean, like everyone's over at the dance and there's tables surrounding it, and there's just a couple laid
Yeah,
out on
there's
top of
one-
the
so
table.
One
One
table
of
in
the
the middle of the
dances-
dance, and they bring in the sacrificial victims. Jesus,
Yeah,
and they have
no,
to have
no.
sex
You
together.
you two have sex for our pleasure, freshmen.
It was a homecoming dance, and it was in the courtyard of my school. So there was a bunch of just like lunch
Bushes.
tables.
Oh, okay.
And bushes. There was a lot of bushes. And then there was also a lot of construction at my school at the time, because it was during that time where it was just like, we need new libraries and the kids are going to learn and all this shit, like new science buildings.
Thank God we gave up on that.
No, I mean, it was like, there was a moment in time where it was like, there's bungalows everywhere.
We had a lot of bungalows.
Like, yeah, you're not going to get a fucking real building. You are in a
Yeah.
bungalow, because the kids coming in a decade, they're going to have a real building. So there was bungalows everywhere. So there was a lot of places to hide,
Gotcha.
even during dances. They weren't really hiding though. Like that was one of those decisions. I'm like, you could have had sex in a lot of different
Did they
places.
get away with it?
Like they could have went to the science wing and they would have got away with it. Oh no, they did not get away with it. And it turned into a real bad thing of indecent exposure and all this shit. Oh yeah, no, that shit's real. Like you can't just fuck in public.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
probably can't. I mean, the thing is,
Well, you can, but you
Doesn't
got to
even
find
matter
a better
if
place
you-
than
Yeah,
a
the
table in the
picnic
middle
table.
of the.
You must have been
dark.
16 at the
There
time.
used to be.
but-
3 yards away from
Don't go
every-
streaking through the quad into the gymnasium.
Yeah,
That shit doesn't
exactly.
work out.
yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of. But Stu, by the way, during all of this, I don't think you ever did you have a lot of heartbreak in high school? I don't think you ever did, really.
Just with that big one crush.
The one crush,
But
yeah.
that was about it.
Never got over it.
No, I did.
Well, that was the other thing too.
I
Is
love you,
like,
Schmoopy.
yeah, that's the other thing. When you get a little space, like even when you got into college, it was just like, oh, what the hell was I thinking in high school, right? And
course,
then
of course.
college, of course, starts its own drama, but it's just a broader drama because you've got like 10,000 people to pick from instead of 100.
Well, the drama becomes I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'm out, and now I'm an adult, and I don't have to
Right.
work, and I'm doing adult things and adult decisions, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh no,
I feel like Facebook added a layer though that I don't know if you guys had to deal with.
didn't,
Maybe
because we
you
didn't
did
have
to
Facebook.
some extent, where it's like you have your middle school and high school experiences, and they all feel like middle school to me. It was only 3 years. That shit felt as long as my entire time at IGN. Which was 5 years. It's like that time felt longer than
Right.
than nowadays, right? College, by the way, felt like a fucking blink. But after college, after you're separated from them, there's that moment where everyone starts coming back. And then there's like these like reinvigorated, like, I think it can work now moments that you get. And I think the things with Facebook and be able to see people like kind of grow up, it's like, oh man, you and I have a shot now. Where we're at now we have a chance. And maybe like when you go back to whatever the fuck it is.
Mizzou?
Whether it's Mizzou or no, not so much.
You're talking
Mizzou.
about high school?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
St.
like-
Francis High School?
Yeah.
Wheaton, Illinois? Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, your high school was weird though because it
Yeah,
was
super
so
weird.
small, and
Yeah.
you did the whole together.
That was the
forever
whole thing of like you were brought up of like I remember when my friend Camps had a girlfriend that went to Wheaton North. And then Poe got a girlfriend that went to Wheaton North. And I'm like, you guys this is a long distance relationship. How are you guys keeping this going? That's insane. You know what I mean?
That's so weird to me because we didn't know anyone that dated people outside of North.
Not really. No.
Like
in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had a
no,
cousin that
so-
went to Poly, which is like our rival, one of our rivals. We had rivals with everyone. Again, we were very good at sports, so everyone hated us. But even then, I'm like, I would hang out with her occasionally and her friends, but we didn't do that. It just wasn't done. Mm-hmm. You just never had occasion to meet the other people.
See, that's
But
so
you're also
weird.
talking about like in
Yeah.
Riverside, it was like it's an urban sprawl, so you don't really like. You're not like they're over there during the football game. We're over here during the football
Yeah.
game. We don't mesh.
See, San Francisco was so different than that. Like, sports was not a thing. Like, yeah, okay, we had football teams, but like they weren't the cool kids. Like, they were just there doing their thing. So it's like we, especially at the school I was
like a
in,
dream.
Yeah.
the school I was in, it's like they treated it differently because it was like these are the kids that want to do AP classes, and like that is the point of it.
Right.
So they treated it like college. Like in my high school, we would do the whole thing where we sign up for what classes we wanted. We made our own schedules.
Interesting.
Like all of that. So we could make our schedules so that we're only going to school a couple days a week, or like make it so that we have packed days, start 7, leave at 4, but like you're banging it all out, or have giant lunches, which is what this motherfucker did. But anyway, so like,
Wait, what's a giant lunch?
You just
like a
don't have,
lunch that
you
lasted
don't have
like
third
4
or
hours.
fourth period.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was fantastic. So
Scheming.
we would do a whole bunch of things, but we were allowed to go off campus, and a lot of other schools wouldn't let you do that. So we would just go off and be like, hey, our friends are over at Galileo. Let's go hang out with them. And
Yeah,
we would
that
just
was-
go, and then we'd just meet a whole bunch of people.
And Galileo is another high
A
school?
different high school in the marina.
Did you then go into classes and stuff with them?
Yeah, we did all types of
That's
fucked up
fucking
shit.
awesome.
I don't even. I mean, the story I always tell. This is college, but Alfredo just hung out with me at SF State. Alfredo at no point ever went to SF State. He just hung out with me in all my classes to the point that the teacher thought he was there, gave him a grade at the end of the class.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Why did he just go?
Alfredo Diaz won San Francisco State's Becca Film Festival in 2011 or whatever with me.
What?
And he didn't even go to the fucking school. But it
bless
says
him.
Tim Gettys and Alfredo Diaz.
Why not? Why not?
awesome.
Yeah, that's fascinating to me.
You
So I
have-
brought you guys a little
Okay.
What do you got here?
present gift
Okay. Nick, you open it.
Oh, thank you. It's heavy.
that I've been holding for you for quite a while.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Oh!
shit.
Rob
think
the
about that?
robot.
That's
So that's
going on the
I
set.
got that when I was 12 years old and got my
crap.
tonsils taken out. I was given the whole Nintendo gift box.
There's more.
Oh, Gentleman Jack.
Now hold on. So we got one for Rob. Rob can hold that.
Can he really?
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna hold.
The old Game Scoop jokes are coming true.
Oh my god, thank you, sir.
Oh man, I love this. Gentleman Jack was like the Tim Gettys
No, no, no.
drink.
Put the neck in there. Slide it from the bottom.
Oh, slide it from the
Slide it in.
bottom.
There you go, buddy.
There you go. Perfect. Perfect.
Makes
Perfect.
sense.
I love it.
We got to rob the robot in
he holds
bourbons
beer.
and whiskeys.
Thanks, Kev.
Holy crap, where did you get this from?
So I got it when I was 12.
Tonsils are
oh
out.
wow.
Got my tonsils out. When I got my tonsils out, I got some pound puppies.
Oh,
Fuck
my
yes,
God.
pound pup.
The Pound Puppies movie makes me cry every time.
They brought the Pound Puppies to the hospital, and they told me that when I had Nintendo waiting for me when I got home, so I had to like get better and eat my ice cream and
Nice. Motivate you to get out of your fucking bed.
Yeah, but anything that you eat when you have your tonsils taken out, it's just like
Hurts.
feels like fire.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
eating
Yeah.
fire. It was hard, but yeah. So I've held that. My mom actually gave away my whole Nintendo set, but because I was like displaying this in various places, I got to keep that. So
Yeah.
that's the last remaining part. It does work.
You lucked out when I got my tonsils out.
Woo!
Oh, he
Like,
does the little dance.
let me get a drink, yo. Can you slide it? So see how slow it would be to play with? Because now we would like drop the top down
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then press the button.
When I got my tonsils out, Poppy
is
and Grandma
amazing.
came. They
Thank
gave
you for
me stuffed like long necked dinosaurs that had their like clearly something from the gift shop downstairs. Like, all right, thanks for. I mean, I'm glad I'm not dead or
You were,
whatever.
big,
you
were
know?
you a big Land Before Time fan?
I wasn't. No, that was a very out of touch gift with me. I did not have anything.
Okay,
to do
you don't
with
like
that one.
dinosaurs. You don't like space. You don't like fun clips.
Without touch.
My question, Stu,
Yes, sir.
is we've heard a lot about Nick Scarpino. Was Matt Scarpino torturing you during this time?
Not
Christ.
torturing me. He was like my surrogate older brother.
Yeah.
So he was.
Are you
doing,
are you an only child or are you?
No, I have an older sister.
Okay. Okay. Oh right, you mentioned this earlier.
Yeah. But no, he was always coming home from parties, telling us crazy sex stories, and just like, which I actually tried to remember like a few. I can't. They all must have just blown my mind when I was that age.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to retain anything, but crazy stuff in the butt and all over.
Sounds like Matt Scarpino.
College, I guess.
That sounds like Matt
Time
Scarpino
for
for sure.
experimentation.
So Stu didn't have an older brother. My brother, when we became friends, we were in 7th grade. Matt was in high school at this point, right? And so we followed his shenanigans and his antics all the way through high school, when he was in high school, all the way to when he was in Sigma Nu out in Cal State. And he just...
Matt Scarpino in a frat?
Oh, dude,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
It was so hilarious to watch the
reckless.
crazy shit that they would do. Like, they would throw parties, and it would look like they would do floor to ceiling drop cloths, like tarps, so it looked like a kill zone. Like it looked like a slaughterhouse, like for a serial killer, right? But they would rage at these parties with people, and like it was. I mean, I went there one time with them because he had to stop by to get something he had forgotten, and I was like, I don't understand. It was so Matt Scarpino. There were gigantic trash cans full of ice and beer, strategically placed so that you never had to go more than a foot to get a new beer or a new cocktail. Like, it was always just perfectly there. Everything was like tarped down so they wouldn't ruin the floors. And like they had the pledges would go out to all the neighbors and like schmooze them over and like bring them stuff so that they wouldn't complain. And so they had this whole thing down to a system. And man, they would party. And then when Stu and I would party a lot with him was when my parents would go out of town to Vegas.
Right.
They would do an annual trip to Vegas, or Laughlin sometimes, but they would do this trip with their friends, and they would leave us for like 4 or 5 days. And my mom
I would just come over there and live there.
Oh yeah, Stu would just live there.
Yeah.
Like, there was one time they did it over. They went to New Orleans for like a week, and Stu just lived at my parents' house for a week. And all we did was sit in. We put lawn chairs in the pool with coolers of ice in the pool, so that we never had to go inside unless we wanted to play Mario Kart. Like it was Mario Kart goes inside, then would cool off, and we kept it so cold that it would make your nipples hard the second you walked in.
I think I remember this. Didn't they get like the air conditioning bill?
Yeah,
flip
it was
out?
a good $600 to $700. I think was the air conditioning bill. It was
And the hot tub, we were in the hot tub
Oh
constantly.
fuck yeah, we were just like, because at night we're like, we gotta get hot, then we gotta go in the house to get cold, and there was like, I just remember it was a week long of just people coming into the house, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they would stay, and then they would get burned out from the party, and they were like, I gotta go home, dude. And they would bounce out. And meanwhile, my brother's just going every day, still a beer in his hand, and he's like, come on, you gotta drink more. And so that was kind of how we grew up with Matt. He would always just bring the party. And no one ever got hurt though. That was the best part. Like,
No, he was good. He looked out
if you
for
were
us.
drunk, you stayed.
Yeah.
Like, you slept on a couch, or you slept upstairs. Like, you didn't drive home, but it was fun.
Yeah,
We had
and Matt
good
and I
times.
had some stuff in common too. The first time I came over to Nick's house for his birthday party, Matt was playing his dad's drum set. When they had like roto toms, it was like, oh, what, this guy
Yeah, he
can
did have
rip.
toms.
So right off the bat, I was like, oh, this guy's cool. And he was also into car stuff. He's like, got a
That's right. He
bumping
loved
stereos.
He was married. I told you, when you got your subwoofer, my brother had an even bigger subwoofer.
Yeah,
I love that.
Going
Yeah.
to Circuit City and spending lots of money on
Circuit City,
I'll
R.I.P.
never,
On
I'll
audio
never forget, my
electronics.
brother borrowed
Yeah.
$120 from me that I had saved from lunch money in junior high, and he was like, I'll pay you back. I promise. And I was like, okay. And I just handed him a giant wad of cash. And he immediately went and bought a sound system with his car. He bought an Alpine, he had saved some money too. He bought an Alpine CD player, and then all that stuff. Probably spent $1,000 on it. I never saw that money back. Matt, you still owe
I'm
me
sure it was worth
$120.
it. Oh my God. I mean, Matt Scarpino is such a treasure, just in every sense
A
of the
national
word.
treasure for sure.
But
He's
Mike,
a
I just
special
love that,
human being.
to take him down a notch. I love that even then, I know him. He must have been like, I'm gonna make these little fucks think I'm the coolest person in the
definitely.
damn
Definitely.
world.
And he did.
Oh, there's a drum set, happens to be just conveniently placed right here. I'm gonna fucking play.
He's gonna rip it.
I'm
for
gonna
all
show
these
these kids some little
12-year-olds,
fucking shit.
Yeah, and everybody thought Matt was the coolest too.
Oh yeah,
They
All
were
of
right.
Nick's friends. Yeah.
Well, Matt was
right.
the reason why I got into theater, and his buddy Dave, who was the drum major at North, was the reason I got into band, and one wanted to be a drum major because
right.
I saw him do it. I was like, that sounds really cool. It was
Pause.
really fun.
Which Dave was the marching instructor. Both Nick and I won best freshman marchers.
That's right,
At
dog.
band camp.
That's right, because he taught us. we were
Started from the bottom.
groomed for high places from the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep looking at you. I don't know if you want to end this topic or not.
Well, that's what Kevin's texting me. You can always just ask Kev. It's fine. This show's the show. I don't think you have to worry too
going
much
long
about
on
it.
it.
I thought we were just going to do an hour long and break it in half,
Yeah.
right? That made
Okay,
sense
cool.
to me.
Yeah.
And keep you on your toes, by the way, Kevin. Thank you to all the people who supported us on Patreon last month.
There they are.
Kevin's
I don't
putting
know
your
what
names up
direction
right
they
now.
go anymore. Is it up?
They
and
go
down?
up. They go up. They go up.
They
They
go
go
up.
up. They go
Going
up.
up.
Never down. Always
Never,
up.
never down.
Going up.
So what is the Nick story we need to know? What's the Nick story we're missing?
Well,
Because
actually-
we literally spent 45 minutes being about all the weird incestuous girl relationships you guys had.
Which is all there is to high school,
Sure.
though. At the end of, like, really, is there much more? It's
No.
like these guys were fucking friends, and there was a lot of girls involved.
Right. No, this
End of that story.
I'd actually like to tell a kind of funny story.
Oh, okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm helping.
Because it's all also related with Nick, but Nick was telling me about doing the show with this guy named Greg and Tim for years, and he was working at IGN. And Nick and I we're very good friends, but we only see each other like once or twice a year. So every time we do, it's like a big download.
Sure.
And Nick's like, I was really proud of him. Moved up to San Francisco, working at IGN, balling. I was doing well with my IT career, so I'm like, and then he starts telling me about this YouTube stuff that he's doing. And I loved YouTube at the time. I'm a big car guy, so I was like, I liked YouTube, but I still didn't really understand what he was doing. And I was like, oh, okay. I supported him, but I was like, I don't really get it. And then, that went on. And then I found out he was going to quit his job and do it. I was like, dude, what is Nick doing? I'm like, that's
a terrible idea.
This is kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But
No healthcare? Terrible. No 401k?
But he seemed really happy, and Danielle's a smart woman, and she supported you. So I was like, all right, do it, dude. That sounds great. So it wasn't until I watched Kind of Funny Live, the first one, where I realized what the hell you guys have done. And I'd like to pat all of you guys on the back.
Thank you.
Nick,
Yeah, give me
Pound.
one. Pound it.
Colin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, air pat to Colin.
Because I couldn't believe, and Kev too, bro. The
Big Kev dog.
support you guys had from your fans, it just blew me away when you guys had people up on stage and they were talking and said how much you guys mean to them in their daily lives, and if they're having a rough day, they can put you guys. And it's just like I got teary eyed. I was like, dude, they are freaking killing it. They have this awesome subscriber best friend base, and it's just I couldn't believe it. So, from there on, and Nick has been telling me, dude, you like cars. You're always doing car stuff and spending money on cars. You should start a YouTube channel. I was like, haha. And then would say it multiple times, and I would never really click. And then as soon as I saw you guys do that, I'm like, dude, maybe I should do that. There's real content. There's real people out there watching. If I could even touch half or a quarter of the people that you guys are doing, that would be freaking amazing and such an added benefit to besides doing what you love. So since then, I have started my own YouTube channel.
Nice.
I finally took Nick's advice, and it's a car-based car reviews in Southern California, modified car stuff,
Stu?
driving cars.
Tell me what it's called.
Hold on, time out. I think this is another easy topic break.
Okay.
Because topic number 3 for this was going to be cars.
Okay.
So now we're moving into topic number 3.
Got it.
Brought to you by Patreon producer Salem Gollum Gollum.
Gone 'em. All gone 'em.
If I say it real fast, it doesn't matter if I screw it up.
Guys, I
Thank you for keeping me honest.
Yes,
Salem
yes.
understands that I'm an idiot and he backs me for some reason. Stu, you're obsessed with cars. What's that all about?
I am obsessed with cars. Since I was a kid, I asked my mom to buy me car magazines. Always liked cars. Always modified my cars. Just been a thing, kind of superficial, but I always liked it, and
Sure.
it always stayed with me throughout the years, except for about a 3-year period where I just drove a stock
No
car.
cars!
No cars. I was like, I need a break, but now I'm back.
Okay.
I just love them. So Volkswagen Audi is kind of what I grew up in doing, and there's a big
like a VW Beetle.
Volkswagen/Audi group. I have
yeah.
Jettas or GTIs, Golfs.
Gotcha. The Golf.
Not necessarily a Beetle,
Yeah,
but
my
yeah.
dad had a Beetle.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty dope.
Air
It was
cooled?
really loud.
Yeah, like an older one?
Never understood why anyone would ever choose that car. Why was it so loud?
Wasn't the engine
the
in
Beatles?
Yeah, everyone's
in the
engine
back.
was in the fucking
Trunk?
It's
yeah, I guess
air-cooled,
it was
so
in
there's
the
no,
back.
like,
And
radiator.
you would turn it on and it goes. Brr, 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 brr. I'm like, this is stupid. It's like a go kart, except it's ugly and orange.
Yeah. Well, they were super easy to fix. Apparently, the Beetles just weren't that complex of a car. So a lot of people liked them because it was if it broke down, you'd fix it pretty easily, or you could do it yourself. We had a couple friends in high schools that had Beetles, and it was always
And they broke a lot.
Yeah, they broke a lot. It was always hilarious.
But you can fix them easy.
They would die, and then someone would does anyone have a paperclip? Here's a paperclip. And they would fix it with some gum and shit and go on. I'll never forget though. Stu's dad had a Jetta, and this was remember when I had this horrible, ugly sky blue hatchback Honda Civic that had 4 gears, and Stu's dad had this dope ass deep burgundy Jetta.
Jetta's cool?
It was an 84 Volkswagen Jetta, not anywhere near as cool as he's making out to seem. But
But
compared to
sports
the
Jetta's
Civic,
cool?
probably.
Yeah,
I've never
compared to my-
associated Jettas in cool. You never see a Jetta in Need for Speed Underground.
Yeah, but Jesse drove a Jetta in Fast and Furious.
yeah, Jesse did.
Fair enough. Touche. Touche.
Nice one. But
So,
you kind of look like Jesse, actually, now.
Yeah, things happen.
but Stu had this car, and I was so jealous because he tinted it out. He put the K&N air filter in it. He lowered
my
it.
God.
He lowered
He did
it a
all this
little bit.
stuff, and then if anyone's ever had a Jetta, which is like I don't know how good they are now, but a pre-2000 Jetta, the cars would just systematically start falling apart on you. And I remember there was one time when Stu and I were driving, and I was like, Stu, that's a stop sign. Stu, you blew through the stop sign. And he goes, bro, I can't stop. If I stop the car, it'll stall, and we'll have to push it to start.
Cruise
it again.
3.
Oh, dude, it
wouldn't idle right.
No, it would not. It wasn't. The idle was terrible.
This is the thing with cars and stuff, and I want to get to your fancy YouTube channel. It's about fancy cars, but the fact of like what you just said, were Jettas cool? Like I never understood what car was cool. You know what I mean? I like cars that had personality, fine, but I was never the car guy. And so I remember the only car I ever thought was cool was this guy Joe, I think his name was, who sat next to me in French class, and he had Mitsubishi Eclipse that was all black and black on the inside. I'm like, that looks like the Batmobile, so that's fine.
Sick.
That looks.
It got
cool.
real ugly after '98, but then it came back,
nice.
and I was like, man.
But that was the thing is I drove a Ford Taurus forever, and I like that was the beater I got when I turned 16, and car was great because it was the perfect car for me, and the fact of like it was totally fucked up, so nobody really cared what happened to it. Like Poe always jokes around about it. When he'd come over to get a ride to school, we'd get in there, and those Chicago winter mornings, we'd get in there, and you turn the car on, and then if I always forget it now, but you could turn the radio on and then the heat, but if you did the heat and then the radio, it would die. You would just kill the fucker.
It's too much power.
I always made jokes that it was Apollo 13, where you're like watching the amps to see how many amps you have to give on this thing. It's got to be the right sequence of orders.
How long did you keep that car?
I had that car from high school until I graduated college, like 90. Well, I guess not right away. So 2000 to 2005 or 6, we'll say something like that, probably something like that. And what happened is, I had this Taurus that I inherited from my parents that by the time I'm getting rid of it in Missouri, the deal was that it ate oil. Like, my dad is Mr. Car, Mr. Outside guy. And he got to the point of just like, it's not going anywhere. It's just getting eaten by this car. So when you fill up for gas, you need to put a quarter oil in every time. And I was like, okay, cool. And like we did, and it just disappeared. And so finally my mom was getting rid of the
Just burning it. That's crazy.
Yeah. Mom had this 1994 ragtop Ford Mustang GT. She loved it.
Sick.
Took such great care of it. Leather interior, tan top, like pristine.
Damn.
And she was like finally like, it was only, rear wheel drive, so it like kicked out all the time in the winter, and it was a huge thing. So she was moving over to some similar looking car but much bigger, a Solaris, I think, maybe, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Toyota Solaris, something like that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so she was gonna do that, and she called me. Was like, do you want the Mustang? Like, I'll sell you the Mustang, like, for like $1 or whatever he was. And I remember when I was with my ex, obviously back then, I was just like, do I want it? And she's like, yeah, don't be stupid. That car's way better than your piece of shit car. I'm like, all right, cool. So I got it, and there's like, again, it's funny with Stu, we're talking about Poe so much. My, high school best friend, childhood best friend. He always talks about it being like, he remembers that car and how my mom took care of it. And then when I picked him up in it at SFO one year, when I had out here, he said it was like Ghostbusters 2 when the Ecto 1 comes in, it's like filthy and kicking out smoke. Because I would park it, and then like tree sap and tar would fall on it, and I wouldn't do anything about it. So like the rag top was ruined, and it was so fucked up. And I had no money because I was working at IGN and living in San Francisco. I don't to put anything.
Doesn't cost that much to wash the car, Greg. Come on, buddy.
Well, that's funny that you said, because I used to treat my cars like shit. Like I always had crap in my cars, and it wasn't until Stu got a newer car. Mm-hmm. He got I think it was a 95 or 94.
96 Jetta.
96
Yeah.
Jetta
From my
VR6.
84 Jetta, right.
And it was a fucking cool car, man.
It was badass.
He got
black on black leather, V6. I had the exhaust. It sounded amazing.
It sounded disgusting. And it was a V6. The car maybe weighed like,
3,000.
nothing.
Yeah.
And so I got in this thing for the first time. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And I saw how good Stu kept his car. And so when it was time for me to get a new car, and by that I meant I was so embarrassed taking girls out in this car that I had, that I just was like, Ma, I need can I borrow $1,000 so I can just get a new car? And I had a job now at that point. So I upgraded to a Jetta VR6 also.
Same car.
But mine was white.
Oh.
And I did not realize that the white Jetta
dirt.
it wasn't that. It was considered a girl car. So everyone was like, way to get a white Jetta, Nick. But that shit was fast, and it had dope tan leather interior, and I didn't care. And that's when the meticulous Nick started.
Oh.
Where I was like, I got this thing I'm finally proud of. I'm finally have a car that I think is cool, and it was fast as shit. So I took care of that thing. And from that point on, I never put anything that goes in my car comes out. That's my rule. If it goes in, it comes out. That's what's happening.
Nice.
But yeah,
Greg,
I remember
writing that down.
I've done it before. I left a comic book in the back of there one day, and I noticed the next day it was there. I was like, oh, sorry, I forgot that. Totally forgot.
What's annoying to me is like when I used to drive around with Tyrute. God bless Tyrute. But Tyrute He doesn't give a shit about anything. He's kind of absent-minded.
Fucking cough drops.
And I would just be like, I would go to clean my car out after Ty. We had been carpooling back and forth for a week, and there would just be wrappers in every possible pocket, like the backseat pocket of the car that no one ever uses. You put, like, your mom has a map back there.
Yeah.
I would reach in and be like, "Why the fuck are there so many wrappers back here? Beef jerky wrappers. There would be shit tucked up underneath my fucking
Visor?
The visor, and
Yeah.
I pull it down. There would be like the top of a beef jerky wrapper. I'm like, Tyson. He was like, hey, whatever, man. But yeah, with Stu, it was hilarious because I remember when you first got that car. Remember the Laughlin story? We're going out to meet my brother and his then girlfriend in Laughlin, Nevada, and we are traveling faster than the speed of light
Very fast.
because Stu's car was so fast and it was so cool, and I was like, yes, drive faster. And we got pulled over by an off-duty sheriff's officer who was like, I have been tailing you guys for 10 minutes to catch up with you. You were driving really fast. Pull over. We pull over and Stu's like, fuck. And I'm like, I know, man, you're just going to get a ticket. Hopefully it isn't that bad.
Yep.
And the guy walks up to us. He's like, I can't write you a ticket because I'm a sheriff's officer, not a highway patrol officer, and I don't have my ticket book with me. But you see that guy all the way up there? And he pointed to like this little speck about 2 miles in front of us who happened to be a highway patrol officer that had pulled someone over. He's like, I want you guys to pull up next to that guy. And he ended up being a really nice guy, though, because we were so courteous.
The guy who pulled us over was really nice. The guy who we went and had, who wrote us the ticket, was a jerk.
Yeah, he was a
He
dick.
walked up to the car. He's like, "Oh, no front plate. Oh, tinted windows. Oh, ticket you for that."
Lowered, yeah, all this stuff.
Yep.
You got. Oh, I
Yep.
felt so bad.
So wait, you
about
just
that.
drove over there with the other guy?
With
Yeah, the
the
guy
guy
was
on the
just behind
shoulder,
us.
like right, yeah, like up the road, like a mile.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then he didn't
got
give
got.
us because we were going
We were going fast.
probably
We were going,
double
like-
the speed limit on the freeway.
shit.
It
It
was
completely
the
reckless.
speed limit back then
They
was
could have told
probably
me out.
55, and we were at easily
God.
105, 110.
We're not that old, bro. The speed limit was 65.
Was it 65?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We weren't texting anybody.
Well, either way, it
but-
was going. Yeah, that's fair enough. Either way, we were going. At one point, I remember looking at the speedometer. I was like, "That says 100." Like,
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
we're
we
at
were
100.
over 100.
Man.
120.
The only time I've ever been over, well, there's 2 times. One time I went over 100 was with my friends in college, and this was during like the WRX STI phase.
Okay.
So they all had their fancy ass fucking cars that go super fast. So we did like one of those like drag race style things where we went out, and it was just like, how fast? No, we weren't racing anybody. It was just like pretending you're racing people. Like, let's just go fucking fast. And that was scary as hell.
That's fine.
But then the other time was on our first trip down to LA. We all packed in Alfredo's Honda Odyssey. And that thing
Which is a minivan.
That's a great minivan.
It is
Great
the
minivan.
minivan of champions. And
It's
that thing was
no-
amazing. And
It's
somehow
not a Toyota.
we,
Toyota Sierra. Sienna
Oh,
is
the
the
Sienna.
bomb.com. That is the bomb.
God bless that.
I'm not even kidding right now. If I had the space for it to park that fucking thing, I would drive that minivan.
Is that the
all time.
Sonar one we had?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Sonar.
When we went to
Yeah,
see Kevin
the
Smith.
Sienna.
Yeah.
It's the Cadillac of minivans.
but we somehow pushed that thing to 110.
Yeah.
And was it worth it?
No.
No.
That car is unstable at
Oh,
that
yeah.
speed.
You
I
don't wanna do
guarantee
that.
it.
Yeah, no. But I mean, it felt fun at the time.
That was the thing of like the speeding for me and like stuff like that. Like my speeding stories all involved the Taurus. You know what I mean? I had the Mustang and I drove it on I-70 in, Missouri, but that's like fucking stay alive. You know what I mean? Driving on it. But like, I'll never forget in the Taurus when I was coming back from Mizzou to Chicago, and it's a 6-hour drive. At some point I was on the road and a cop was in front of me and he was speeding. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just pace this guy, right? Because if he's doing it, he can't get mad at me. And so forever I drove behind him and he would change lanes and I would change lanes. And I was totally just tailing this cop at an excessive speed in the Ford Taurus. And finally he just jerks it to he like went and then he like faded me out and he slams on his things. And then I'm like, well, I can't be matching his speed.
can't do that one.
I'll keep falling. And I kept slowing, and like it was just me and him on like I-55, I think, in Illinois. And I kept slowing down. And we're doing eventually 20 on the highway with him a little bit in front of me. And finally he stopped enough to get there. And I turned and looked at him, and he was screaming through the glass at me, just like fucking pointing and screaming. Like I got the message clear. And he just fucking floored it and took off. And was just gone.
Why did you think that was a
You
good
didn't
idea?
even get pulled over.
No, didn't even get pulled over for that. Yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
Luck.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
Wow.
what are you gonna
I
do?
think I got one. Yeah, I got another speeding ticket going down to Mizzou, and it was totally the best thing because it was that I was 20 at the time, and so I couldn't go out to the bars or anything when the older antlers would go. And in Illinois at the time, I don't know what it is now, I got the speeding ticket, and that meant they took your license and they gave you the ticket, and this was now proof of your ticket. And so I got the ticket, and I looked at it, and I was like, huh. And got back to Mizzou, busted out my checkbook with the carbon paper, and made their 3 on 83 and 82. And then I just went around to bars, and I'm like, oh, that sucks, man. They took my license. Here's my thing. And they're like, man, Illinois is dumb. There you go. Have a good time at the bar. I'm like, thanks.
You are a crazy son of a bitch. I would never think to do that. My paranoid brain would be like, they're going to catch you, and they're going to like they're gonna arrest you for fraud.
Yeah,
Or, like defrauding.
Yeah.
that's what you roll.
That's when you're
worth
dumb
it.
and young.
Yeah,
You make
exactly.
mistakes.
You don't know. You don't understand what you're playing with.
Things
but yeah.
happen. So Stu, have you gotten all the cars that you want? Like your dream car, did that ever come to fruition?
Yeah, I bought my dream car like 3 times now. It keeps
Fuck yeah,
changing though,
man.
you know what I mean? It's a problem. with
Yeah.
car
So,
guys.
so tell me, you have this YouTube channel. The
I have
name's
a YouTube
awesome. The
channel.
name is.
Wheelie Cool Videos. It's
Really cool videos.
took the word really.
Oh,
wheelie with
Yeah,
it.
you did
Okay,
it.
okay, okay.
My logo is sunglasses. I'm sorry, a wheel with the sunglasses on it.
Yeah.
Animated by Nick Scarpino.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.
Thank you very much.
Welcome for that.
So do you keep? How many cars do you own, or is that you keep trading the cars?
No,
or?
yeah. Well, I currently own 3.
Okay.
I had just had a 4th that we sold, our Volkswagen Eurovan camper. You know, the cool one with the pop top and all
Sure,
that stuff. We
sure.
just sold that. We just bought a house, so we're like, my wife's making me sell every
the cars,
car
yeah.
that's not a necessity.
Gotcha.
But no, so I bought, as far as my dream car question, I bought a Volkswagen R32 in 2008.
Swear to God, Stu, just move it
Sorry.
around.
Okay. Hi. Check. I got a 2008 R32 that I thought was my dream car, but it wasn't. And then I bought a TTRS Audi in 2012, which was very dream car-ish.
So,
Yeah.
dude, let's take a second and talk
It's an
about this car.
amazing $70,000 Audi that cost me like $1,000 a month.
Stu buys this
Stiff.
car, and I was like, how fucking like if you know anything about Audis, like the RS models of the Audis are like the top of the line,
360
whatever it is.
horsepower, manual transmission, all-wheel drive. It's like a Subaru STI, but
Yeah.
like luxury and lighter.
Tiny, super fast, and I'm like, how fast could it possibly be? He takes me for a ride in this fucking thing. It does. What was the 0 to 60?
0
on
to
that
60
thing?
under 4 seconds.
Under 4 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. You can launch
So
the thing and just it's
fucking fast that it sucks you into the back of the seat, and you get scared very quickly. And I remember we were up north, driving around the winding roads in Northern California, and
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I was white knuckling it the entire time. I'm like, Stu, you've got to slow down. Like this thing is so fucking fast. It is basically all engine with 4 wheels and like a seat. That's pretty much all it
Yeah.
is. But it was so cool.
It's a lot of fun. I drove it on the track, on the racetrack. We can do like track days, which is
shit.
awesome because you can like drive 140, 150 miles an hour and not worry about speeding tickets and stuff.
Yeah.
But then I realized, that's a lot of money. And if I had that extra money, we could be like, buy another house
Yeah.
or something like more mature and fiscally responsible.
Share.
So
Adult.
But actually, that's not why the reason I sold it. I found another car, which was a 94 Volkswagen Corrado. Do you know what that is? It's purple, little hatchback. It's like a Scirocco, in between a Scirocco and a GTI.
Gotcha.
They only made them for 4 years. It's purple, though.
God, purple sounds awesome.
fucking
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, yeah.
It's dope.
With the VR6 engine, sounds
okay.
good. So I sold my TTRS and I bought that car.
How fast is that compared to the TTRS?
Oh, it's like half as fast.
Yeah.
It's more cool, cruisy than like super fast. But I learned with my fast TTRS that really having a fast car is fun and all, but
How often are you using it?
yeah, it's
How
like,
often are you going from
it's
0 to
so
60?
fast that you're gonna go to jail or get a really big speeding ticket eventually.
Yeah.
It's just too fast. And to drive it on the track, it was like almost too nice of a car to drive on the track because you feel like you're beating it up or rock chips. So
You know rock chips.
I know
don't
all
you?
about them rock
Are
chips.
you getting the rock chips with your Toyota?
With my Prius C?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got my dream car.
Let me ask you this question, Tim.
All you wanted was obnoxious
When's the
blue.
last time you
Prius
washed
C.
the Prius C?
I actually watch it fairly
Do you?
often.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the problem is everywhere that I've ever lived in the last
Yeah.
like fucking ever since I've had a car, it has the problem of the sap and freaking.
tell me
like,
you got the
bullshit.
bright orange color.
No, I got the
You can see it from here
obnoxious
if you-
blue.
yeah.
It is. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
If you go to the
huge
window
fan
and
of
look
blue.
out, you'll see it right
It
away.
will
It is
blind
a
you how
metallic
sparkly
neon
it
blue.
is.
Is it
It is-
douchebag blue?
Oh, it is.
Fuck yeah, it's douchebag blue.
It is like as douchebag blue. That's how I live my life, though. Like a quarter
what's
mile.
amazing
douchebag
is
That's pretty
blue to
douchebag
not
blue
only
right
did
here.
he-
No, it's that blue. It's that
that
blue.
color,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with metallic fleck in it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's
You're
great.
sporting douchebag blue?
What's I
fantastic.
had sky blue. That was like
Yeah,
on your
it's-
shirt.
Is that what your shirt?
Oh yeah, that's definitely douchebag blue.
But I only had a
Shout out to Danny.
92
Sorry, Danny.
Camry, a shitty 92 Camry, and then a shitty 94 Corolla, and then eventually once I started all this, I was like, I want to get a real car
Yeah.
that doesn't break on me every 2 seconds, and I'm like, I'm going for the Prius C, and the only car I've wanted since the Prius C has been Bernie's Tesla, because that thing's a fucking, that's just not, like that is a Batmobile, and you get in that, I'm like, I feel like this is a good value. It's just a little too expensive, but one day they won't be
Dude,
expensive.
our
They'll come
Uber
up.
picked us up for when we were going to Puerto Rico in a Model X, brand
No
new Model
shit,
X.
really?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you were just gonna thrash this thing.
Yeah. Do you see yourself ever getting a Tesla?
No. Maybe like as a 4th car or something like that. I
a
live in Southern
weekend
California
mobile.
where we can have as many cars as we want. Not up like here in San Francisco
Right,
where
where you can't
every
park
car
them.
is
You
going to
have none.
cost you $1 million a year just to park it.
So then tell us about your channel. What are you doing on
So the
Wheelie
channel
Cool?
is, I specialize in like modified car reviews. I find all the coolest cars in Southern California, which there's a lot. There's a huge car scene down there. And I hit them up, normally just slide into their DMs and arrange a car shoot. So
Nice.
So it's like post Pimp My Ride. Like you find the guys that went on the exhibit show and you're like, I want to look at your
it's
car.
done. Yeah, more like your
Let me
Fast
see
and
that.
Furious.
Let me see that PlayStation in the back. Yeah, comes up. The screen comes up.
Yeah, but they're really all like really nice. Some Ferraris, Porsches, nice like drivers' cars that have been like tastefully modded. Sometimes very heavily modded. And I get really good audio and video of the cars, nice rolling shots. I try and get really high quality audio and video content of the cars because there's a lot of YouTube car reviews, a lot of car content on YouTube, but little of it is high quality. Even like Jay Leno's Garage, which I like that show, but like they're filming in LA when they go take the car out and do rollers, there's like tons of other cars in the background. It's like dirty shots. It's just not a clean, nice, pretty shot.
You
of
want
the
to
car.
focus on the car you're there
I don't
to
want to
see.
see the reflection of the camera car in the car I'm shooting. You know, I'm trying to do it high production value.
And you're not a video guy. Like you just grew up
not.
around these guys.
Right, I'm an
so-
IT guy, and I just, a little over a year ago decided I'm gonna take my passion and start filming some of the stuff that I'm already doing.
And the most impressive thing to me is that so you do really cool vids. Nick tells me about it. I met you at his bachelor party like years ago, and then he's just like, yeah. So we're doing this thing where he's gonna do the really cool vids. I'm like, I'm sold on the name, and I was like, okay, cool, best of luck. But this is during the time when Nick's telling literally everyone he knows, you should
Start
make a
a
YouTube
YouTube
channel.
channel.
Or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should do this because he was just converted, and then I'm like, all right, cool, like good. You and Matt are two examples where I'm like,
true.
we'll see how long this lasts. Midlife Ballers episode 50 something, and you're
Yeah.
like, huh? Holy shit, you're doing it. You look at
Do
the
it,
views of
Matt.
that show and you're like, man, Midlife Valors. Shout out to you. You, how many subscribers you got?
Like 8,500.
Oh, nice.
Coming up
Yeah.
on 10,000.
Yeah,
What are your views average for your episodes?
It depends on the car because it's all depends on how
Oh,
hot
that's
the car
interesting.
is
So
right
people,
now.
if I'm a Porsche guy or something like that, I'm coming to see Porsche stuff. I'm not
Exactly.
chicken. Oh,
So you're getting some good numbers on
But
these.
yeah, I just I'm at 1.1 million total views
Nice.
for the channel.
Yeah.
In about a year, which is great. We started off my show more like this podcast, trying to emulate you guys, but
sounds like another show.
people don't really,
Midlife
I've found, care who you are and what you have to say until they know who you are.
Gotcha.
So I just went with my original focus, which is find cool cars, film them. I have my buddy Steven Hicks, who's an excellent photographer. He comes out with me on the shoots and takes high quality pictures of the car, which is awesome because then the owner of the car gets like this takeaway. They can print the images and hang them in their garage or whatever. And just make awesome videos. There's really cool guys in, all these guys are really, really nice and humble. And they build all these cars, and a lot of times they don't get exposure. Maybe they'll get posted in a magazine, maybe not. So my channel gives them the opportunity to come on, tell us about the car. I get to drive it for an hour, but like I like to have them in the passenger seat so I can interview them,
Tell you
and,
stories.
and ask them, like about the build and what it's like to own and drive every day. And
Was it hard?
Is that the video then? Like you have like a GoPro or something in there and like
yeah, I
filming you
have
driving around?
3 GoPros, and normally I change them up. So there's like 4 to 6 different camera angles. Plus we do external rolling shots of the car with like my DSLR and a gimbal. So it's like high quality, nice lenses and stuff. And then I also cut in pictures that my buddy Steven Hicks takes of the cars to keep it, fluid. So you're not like staring at just me talking in the car, which, is boring. You want to see the car. That's why you're watching the video. And that's what I want to show you. And not just clips like 1 second, like teasers. I want to show you like if you were to see the car on the road, like breaking your neck looking at the car. That's what the shots I want to show you. Yeah.
So when you first started, was it hard to get people to do it? Like, was there like you
started
want
with
to
a lot
come
of my
drive my
friends.
car for an hour?
I have a lot of car friends. In fact, that's what I call my subscribers and my audience. Again,
You're just ripping everything
in
off.
homage to you guys. I was touched, So my car friends, my viewers, which is a real term. That's what I say to my wife. I have this car friend.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
go
yeah.
hang out. So, but yeah, I hit my car friends up.
Gotcha.
Initially to start out, and then because I'm in the scene and I have a lot of buddies that have cool cars. After that, then it made it easier because I looked established and like I wasn't just some random guy.
Gotcha. Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
people
That makes
pretty
sense.
much say yes. I haven't had too much pushback, and there's such awesome cars in Southern California. Like the owner of Momo steering wheels.
Yeah.
I'm reviewing his BMW M3
Oh, really?
E30 on this Sunday.
How'd you hook up with him?
Hit him up on his DM.
Really?
And people are just so humble and nice. They're
Do these
just
guys
like,
all follow you back?
I don't know.
Yeah, to a
I
degree.
don't know. If they follow me back, I'm not sure.
That's
But-
crazy.
But they let me drive their cars, and
That's all you care
and
about.
they
Good
shout me
enough.
out when I do it.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's.
Have you driven an
cool.
Ecto 1 yet? Are you going to do an Ecto 1 episode? Do an Ecto 1 episode.
Yeah. Can you hook me up? Where do you have one?
No, I don't. That was always
One
the
day.
Yeah, no, that's one day. One day that'll be a thing. Well, come on, where am I going to park in San
If you
Francisco?
do buy one, can you?
Yeah, you can drive
shoot
it.
that.
Yeah.
So we should. Can we
Can we
do
lock
one?
down the Prius C?
We should lock down the Prius. I would love to do that. That would be the best thing in the world. I got a super sweet subwoofer in the back.
Oh, you got a woofer?
Yeah,
Oh, so
of
it's
course.
modified.
Yeah.
It has been modified. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all we need.
It's so loud.
Because the channels
It's awesome.
I don't do many stock cars. They're all like modified cars.
Sure.
That's
I modified my my rear view mirror. I got one of them, those aftermarket like longer
wide
ones
screens.
with the widescreen, the HD
Yeah.
mirror. Yeah.
Nick, how have you tricked out your car?
Oh, I haven't.
Oh, yeah? What kind of car you drive again?
I drive a
Nissan Maxima?
2005 Honda Accord.
Have you even tinted the windows, bro?
No, God, no.
You've been living with that car for like 12 years. No tint.
I don't understand. Like, here's the thing.
You don't understand tint? You understand heat?
I understand all of that. But I live in San Francisco, where this is as hot as it gets for one day. And B, I am a weird traditionalist when it comes to like modifying things. If I buy something, I like to keep it in that exact shape. I don't want to like I can't understand like why people would take those amazing, like you, for instance, your Audi TTRS had awesome rims that came with it. You were like, these aren't awesome enough.
No.
I'm going to get even awesomer rims with bigger tires
and then sell
like,
those and get another one, then sell
yeah,
those and get
exactly.
another one. Yeah.
So I feel like there's a part of my brain is it's twofold, right? One, I like like when I bought the thing, I'm like, I want to keep it in the exact shape that I got it in, right? No reason to change it. And two, I feel like once I do that, once I start down that road, there's no going back because I'm never happy once I start it. You know,
No, you just got to call it like you see it. I mean, for me, I was like, all right, there's 3 modifications that need to happen in my car. 1, I need the
woof.
subwoofer, and we're good.
The woof.
2, I need my nice HD mirror.
Why?
And
Okay.
3, I accidentally spilled a vanilla latte all over my left door once, and that'll never go away. So that's
Why
my
didn't you
third-
clean it?
I cleaned the door, but it's in the speaker coil of one of the things, so that it's like it got embedded into the thing. I went in with a toothpick one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
It's
You can take that.
it'll
off.
never go away. Yeah, I'll
written
fix it
off.
one day. But like that's how I modded
You
it.
won't though.
I
You
won't.
Did
I
you
never
the
will.
windows?
You
You've had
have
that
to
thing.
No, again,
No.
we're San Francisco.
Why?
I'm not gonna tint.
You don't like
Here's the
sun?
thing.
You have sunglasses. Do you have sunglasses?
No, I don't.
We just
I don't
went to
do all
lunch.
that. I'm not an asshole when it comes to
doesn't
to
like
all
it,
that
doesn't like
stuff.
it, doesn't do that
I
stuff.
like the music. Like I'm not doing this to roll around and cruise and fucking be an asshole in my car. I'm doing it because I like how it sounds. So it's like I'm not gonna mod my shit so my
You don't wear
Prius C
sunglasses,
looks
though?
cool. No,
You should worry about cataracts. You're fair skinned.
I mean it's
true.
Sunburns.
It's true.
It's a fucking thing.
You're getting old, buddy.
Yeah,
Come on
I don't
now.
know what cataracts are.
Yeah.
The thing about modifying the cars though for me was like I've never had a car that I even give a shit about modifying. So you had like when you have a $70,000 sport vehicle, yeah, it's fun to do that with. But like slamming out my Honda Accord, that's
Plenty of
that's
people that do, bro.
Yeah, but it's like an automatic and like why? Just why? I never saw the point in it.
So Nick, where do you've had your car a long time? What's your plan for it? You're just gonna run in the ground? Do you have a car you want one day?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to get a new car one day. It's just the problem with having a new car in this city is that it's cost prohibitive, but it's also, in Southern California, your car might get dinged when you go to like park it at a shopping mall or something like that. But overall,
Dude.
you're gonna park it at a big space, and that's pretty much it. Like no one's bumpers are fucked up in Orange County.
I could not handle having any of my cars here.
Right. You
I drove
come
my
here-
Volvo up to San Francisco just because I didn't want to expose any of my other vehicles
No,
to
it's
the
terrible.
harshness that is San Francisco parking.
Yeah, I mean, people can't parallel park. They park by feeling your bumper.
When we
basically.
came up for your wedding, I was parked right outside like the street, and I was like constantly checking on my car, and there were people just like parked. They're touching. This is
Yeah,
parking.
they're
That's
touching
cool.
the car.
Yeah, with the bumper guards and all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
It's insanity.
They don't care. They
Full
actually
insanity.
use the bumper on the car as for what it's worth. So my car has, I think, 80,000 miles on it. It is almost 11 years old at this point, and it's still going. I just spent a lot of money to fix it because it unfortunately had a big engine problem. And the guy was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, I don't want a car payment right now because there's nothing better than having a car that works and you don't have to worry about a $500 payment a
true.
month. And B, insurance is nothing on it. And it's already like internally it's great. And the exterior is just, it looks like the fucking Wolverine attacked it. It's terrible. And I just, it
Does
would
not
be
look like that.
it would be heartbreaking for me to go through like buy a brand new Audi or something like that, and
Yeah.
then just see like the bumper systematically over the span of a year just get fucked up. This would be terrible.
That makes sense.
I'm also just not a car guy, so who cares?
Yeah. And you're with your Prius.
I mean,
forever.
I am in love.
What do you drive?
with my
Nothing.
Prius
Don't have a
C.
car.
No, zero.
I moved
Is that
here-
your bike out there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I when
Let's
I
go those quads.
Yeah, and trust me,
Oh.
today was a great example of
there it
how
is.
bad the weather's been. Because I bought the bike like September of last year or whatever, and rode for a bunch, and then like the holidays came, so we weren't, I'm going here, this is happening, Bob, and the weather gets bad, and so like I think I rode like 3 times in February because it was so bad and we were on the road so much, and then today getting on, I was like, it was like the hardest ride of my life trying
Crazy.
to be able to do it. But no, when I moved here with the Mustang. And then eventually was like, sold this. But when I moved downtown and IGN was moving downtown, it was like, well, I can walk to work.
Do you use like Zipcar or any of those like
I use
car
Zipcar.
rental
Yeah, I'll do
services?
Zipcar. Yeah, for going somewhere. I Uber all the time, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. And
Nice.
then if I'm feeling like it, I'll Muni. But
Crazy.
for sure, like when we moved out into the sunset, and IGN was still down there, and I rode the Muni every day. When we started Kind of Funny, that was the thing of like, never again. You know what I mean? Because we were working from home, and then when we came here, the bike offsets it enough. But
Yeah. No, I love my Prius C, but there was a time like when I wasn't able to get a car, and it was just like whatever car was literally given to me for free. I was just like, all right, what cars do I want? All my friends had cool cars, and my friends were really into that whole
Modding it out and
like
stuff.
that scene. So they all had like RSXs and the STIs
Nice.
and all that stuff, and they modified it and did all that. I knew I didn't want any of that, but I was like, I would give anything for a 98 to 2003 Mustang, because that's just fucking dope. A 98 Eclipse or a 2001 Celica was my like, because there's no blue more obnoxious than my Prius C blue than the 2001 Celica blue.
You know, the word Celica is just obnoxious.
Oh, I love the Celica. It looks like the Pokemon Scyther if it was a car, and it's just the fucking best thing ever. It's like that thing. Oh, it's so dope. So fucking dope. I feel like the Prius C is like the less cool version. Like if you took the 2001 Celica and just kind of like squished it together, that's what a Prius C is.
I've never heard
Yeah.
it described that way.
You probably never will again there.
No, it is. If you look at them visually, like you can, there is like definitely a through line of
Right.
Toyota being like, all right, we're gonna
Smush it
add
down.
some things, and like, yeah, it's like it's there. Let me believe. Give me this, guys.
let them have it.
Fair enough.
Do you have a parking space? Like, could you have a car if you wanted to?
No, I mean it would be street parking now.
Street parking.
I live in the house with Colin, and before
Does
that,
Colin have a car?
No,
No.
Oh, Colin doesn't have a license.
Oh.
Before that,
Here's
a
my
guy
car.
named Scott Bromley lived there. And Bromley had a truck, and he parked the truck. He had an agreement with the landlord to park it in the driveway, and he did, and then just never moved it for months. So when Bromley left, the landlord was like, and also no more parking in the driveway for
Screw
anyone.
that privilege.
Yeah. Nick,
Okay.
Yes.
what's your topic?
I'm fascinated by what you guys do when I can't see you. So when you go home at night, I want you guys to run me through your nightly rituals. What do you do? What's your go-to meal? How do you decompress? Because most of the time I have such a problem getting to sleep unless I can follow my ritual that I'll just stay up all night in my own head, good and bad, for whatever reason, just thinking about what's happening tomorrow or the day before. So I'm always fascinated by how other people deal with that. I don't know, Greg, what do you do when you go home?
First is walk Porty, of course.
Right.
Got to walk Porty, got to feed Porty. Take the Portillo's bowl from Chicago, give it a little bit of food, maybe half of it on the side there. Take the can of dog food. Now, as you know, they used to sell little Paul Newman's can of dog foods in Andronicos.
I did not know
Then
that.
Safeway bought Andronicos, fucked it all up. They only got these giant things now. I keep looking for the smaller cans.
Can't you just
for
keep
some
half
reason
a can and then cover it?
Well, yeah, of course, but I still feel like Porty's a little dog.
Yeah.
I'm serving him like maybe a tablespoon twice a day here, right? You know what I
Okay,
mean? So
yeah.
which used to be half of a small can.
Sure.
But think about how big that can is with all the others stacked up. By the time I get to the bottom, that food's been open a while, and I feel bad
That's
for
fair,
him.
that's
But I'm
fair.
also like, you're a fucking dog. You should
he licks his own
You
asshole.
should have been born a human. You know what I
He
mean?
really
Like
licks his own
you
asshole a
haven't
lot.
died yet, and you're there. So I feed him that. Watch him, praise him a little bit, so he actually eats it and drinks some water. And he doesn't die. Then the world's my oyster. Depending on the week and what's happening,
Right.
I like you said what I do relax, and catharsis is cooking for me. I love cooking, so like if I had a chance, if it wasn't like PAX East this week, I've had a chance to plan out my meal schedule, so I have stuff there to prep. I know what I'm
There's a
cooking.
hashtag
night
for
after
that.
night. Hashtag cooking with Greggy, of course. How can you forget? Instagram.com/GameOverGreggy. Cook all that stuff out, and then do the dishes after that. Probably have a beer with it. Chill out. Some point in there, I'm on the phone with Jen, of course. She's my girlfriend. I'll talk about her later.
I've heard.
I love her very much.
All right.
And then it's into video games, and it's or whatever other responsibility we have to do, if it's scheduling a tweet or something like that. And then video games till Porty inevitably is in my fucking face, and I'm like, "Do you want to go outside?" And he wags his tail, and I go, "Do you want food?" And he really wags his tail, and I go, "No, you're fat. You've already eaten enough food."
Jesus, fat
You know
shaming
what
your
I mean?
dog?
Yeah, he needs to be told.
sad.
He could die.
He could.
I can't. Humans can't die from being fat, but dogs can.
No, one human being has never done.
Anyways, I yell at him for a long time, and then he continues to step up and be in my face and on my chest, and finally I go, "Fuck you." I get up, I go give him a treat, I sit back down, play the game. The next time he does it, we actually go outside, and then it's usually around, we're getting closer to bedtime, come in, go to bed, wash my face, brush my teeth.
So you take a break in between the media and and going to bed.
Well,
So I feel like this is where I get into trouble.
Sure,
This is one of
sure.
the reasons why I don't like playing video games at night, is because it keeps that part of my brain active. That if I don't put a period of at least an hour in between doing something that's hand-eye coordination,
Oh, yeah.
and that I will sit up all night thinking about like the other night I was like, how would I rewrite the original Star Wars trilogy? Like, what would
As you
how
do.
would Phantom
As you do
Menace
in the
really,
moment.
should that really go?
Oh, the prequel trilogy.
The prequel,
Not
excuse me.
I was like, Nick, you're thinking about how you'd rewrite the original trilogy.
but
How
so
could I make them better?
no. How like 1, 2, and 3? I'm always like, God damn it,
Yeah.
they
See,
fucked that up so bad. How would I rewrite
You raise
that?
an interesting point. That is, of course, the Trojan horse to all of this. And it, of course, is the phone.
Yes.
When I go to walk Porty, when I'm playing a video game, when it's a loading screen, it's immediately pop over to Twitter and Instagram. What's happening?
Yeah.
Somebody's doing that. So, to your thing, there's a break of me playing the game. But I play the game and I take Porty out and turn on the flashlight on the phone, and then I'm checking Reddit and I'm talking to people on Twitter,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And then I come in and then I'm brushing my teeth and I'm checking my phone and doing all that stuff. And then then I get into bed and all the lights are off and I am staring at my phone and doing that. And then finally, it's always that thing of like, oh, I'm going to go to bed early tonight. You know what I mean? It's 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then it's midnight. You're like, fuck, I got down this rabbit hole, and it's like, no wonder I'm always tired and I'm not making as much progress in games as I want because I'm fucking doing this all the time.
Right. I mean, it does. I wonder how much of that does wear on you, though. Like, it is like
Screen
all
fatigue.
day long, but not even that. It's that weird part of your brain that goes, hey, check it again.
What else is happening?
Just
What
keep
else is
scrolling.
happening?
What's
You
going
gotta
on?
keep scrolling.
And like that never shuts off in me
Yeah.
now. Like I'm always. The other night I actually like yelled at myself because there was a break in between. Here's how fucked up this is. I was watching. I had DVR'd Paycheck, which is an old Ben Affleck, Uma Thurman movie based on a Philip K. Dick movie. I just was like, I haven't seen it forever. I'm gonna watch it. It doesn't hold up as well as it should have, but I still enjoyed it. But it was DVR, so it had commercials, right? And the commercial hit, and in between the time that it took me to remember that it was DVR'd and I could fast forward it, I already had my phone in my hand and I was
Yeah.
checking out, and I was like, what is fucking wrong with me? Like, I don't need.
And from the other room, D's like, let me tell you, let me make you the list, honey.
He's like,
No,
well,
I mean,
lots of
we've
stuff.
talked about that so many times on the show, but I just think that that's just how things are nowadays, where it's just like there's so much that happens on your phone. Well, it's not like you're just scrolling through notifications on Twitter or like looking at Instagram pictures. It's like you are doing those things, plus looking at email, plus reading the news, plus looking at YouTube videos. It's like there's so much going on there that we did that before. We just did it on a desktop of a computer.
Sure.
Or like did it while watching a TV. Or like, it's just we're consuming way more types of content on a phone than we were before.
But I feel like it's gotten crazy though, to the point where like it's just never done. Like even when we grew up in high school, there was no cell phones, and so like I can't even remember what we did when we went home. I think it was just 5 hours of TV.
It's TV.
That was pretty much
Yeah,
it. Right?
live
TV and
video
snacking.
games, yeah.
But even then, I don't think I played that. I guess I did play games in high school. Yeah, it was like N64 and like PC gaming. So that's I guess all I did.
Dork.
Well, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Tim, what do you do when you go home?
I mean, it's weird for me because I have a new ritual now. Now that
you live with
I
Gia.
live
Big G.
with Gia, it's like that. It's totally like changing my game up. She cooks food. I've never had home cooked meals in my life until now. So it's like I've been used to just going out all the time.
What's that like?
It's weird. It's different.
The other
They're
night,
great.
I got home. My wife's like, I ordered us food, and I was like, oh, I almost cried.
Oh, I
was
thought you
like,
were
"That
talking
was so
about
lovely."
yeah, no, whatever. Gia's great and her cooking's really good. So I'm like, I'm down with that. It just fundamentally changes like my routine. So like I feel kind of like my routine has been betrayed.
Well, because prior to that, you used to always go out to dinner with
With
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
So my routine, if I'm gonna like explain it, is I'm just not even gonna talk
Fucking
about
sucks.
what's going on now with the Gia situation, which I love, and I'm not talking shit about. I know she's gonna watch this and give me shit about it, but my routine is we'll go to work, and this is true whether it was IGN, pre-IGN, kind of funny, it doesn't matter. Go to work, go through the day, do all the things I need to do, and then meet up with Kevin somehow, go get food somewhere, and take way too long eating it because we're just scheming. We're just planning the next thing. We're trying to figure out how to solve a problem we're dealing with. Like, all right, cool. Kevin, you now work at a lotion place. How can we get you working at IGN? Okay, Kevin. I now left IGN. How do we get you to work here? Okay, Kevin. How are we going to get a video screen? You know what I mean? It's just like we just keep kind of like going through, and he's like my bounce board for ideas. And like that's when like the real work got done. You know, it's like, all right, cool. I went to work and got shit, but then it's like this is when the strategizing and the real plans are starting to come together. It's like when you create the instructions to make the Lego set, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'd go home and try to act on some of those things. Go on the computer, start making lists, start hitting people up, it's the scheming,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then jerk it a little bit, and then
You beat that thing a little bit.
Yeah. And then phone calls. I'm a phone call guy. So I'd call whoever it is I need to call to give attention at any given moment, right? I got this friend that's bitching that I haven't talked to him in too long.
Right.
I got my mom. I got my girlfriend. I got my this, my that, whatever the hell it is. I'm like, all right, you get this hour, you get that hour. It's like it was like a daily ritual. You get that shit out of the way. Then I lay down and try to sleep, but I can't sleep because I have insomnia because
the problem is you
spend
put
my
the-
entire life scheming and thinking,
Right.
so then I can't turn it off.
You're putting the jerk in the wrong spot. Jerk before you go to bed, and then you can go
really
to
are.
bed.
The jerk.
That's
needs to be the
how it
last thing
works.
you do.
Now Kevin has
He needs it
feedback
to
on
get-
this.
He needs it to get the gears fucking moving. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I gotta, it's like I'm one of them like jerking just keeps me going. Jerking
Does
just
it?
jerking
Jerking
just
wakes
gives
you
me
up.
life. It's
See,
just
jerking makes me immediately want to sleep.
Fuck
It's just-
yeah.
no. I mean to be honest though, the jerking thing, if anything, it's way more just It's a tool to procrastinate.
Oh, I don't want to call these people. Better jerk off.
Yeah,
Better play
exactly.
with myself.
Or call people, or it's like I'm doing work on the computer and I'm like, I wonder what's going on ujiz.com right now. Like it's
Wow.
that type of thing.
On
Yeah.
what?
Ujiz.com.
Oh,
Ujiz.com.
ujizz.com.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was just like you're trying to think of other things to do instead of
Is it
what
the letter
you're-
U or
No, it's YOU.
for YouTube.
For any of the listeners out there that might be
.com.
interested.
Yeah, and
Is this amateur or is this?
I mean, I wouldn't
Oh, it's
go
a whole
to
bunch.
anyone else that wants to do it.
Yeah, it's whatever you please, whatever you're into. But yeah, it's usually a procrastination tool. Masturbation really is almost always when you think about it. But now it's replaced. Like now my ritual is all out of whack with that. It's like especially
Fucking Gia.
especially if it's
Being
a
around
Monday.
all the
If it's a
time.
Monday, hashtag Bachelor Monday, things are different. You
So
know,
wait, when does Gia go to sleep?
it depends. The
Does she
ritual
stay up
now
late?
is just it's totally fucked.
Okay, so she
Yeah.
just when she wants because
I haven't had dinner with Kevin in years at this point.
I was gonna say, how often do you look outside the house and see Kevin standing there in the rain?
just pawing at the window.
How long have you lived with Gia?
Let's see, 3 months now.
Okay.
I think I'm just pulling that out of my ass. It feels like 3 months
I think it might be a little longer.
So you haven't gotten
Maybe
a new
longer?
ritual yet.
Since December.
since December.
So 4 months.
Okay, 4 months. Great. Yeah. And I mean, we do have ritual. The problem is with our jobs, like rituals go out the window.
Right.
We travel so much, so it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, we do have a ritual. Oh, I'm gone forever. Oh shit, now Zelda's here, so I'm playing that. Sorry. Oh shit, Horizon's a thing. I'm gonna play this game for 20 hours.
Gotta leave me alone, babe. Gotta do this.
Yeah, and she's great about that stuff. She likes to read and do all these weird things. So
Whatever.
Yeah.
Drink wine, read.
Oh yeah, I mean, Gia has rituals.
Give me some G rituals.
I mean, it's wine and books.
Yeah.
And cooking. She really likes to cook. So all of those things, that's Gia.
Nice.
Yeah.
Stu, what's your ritual?
So I think, Nick, are you asking for rituals or are you asking how like we decompress before we go to sleep?
I mean, either. Like, what is your mentality when you go home? Like, just walk me through. It's 5 o'clock. You come home from work or whatever.
So
and,
if
like,
I come
what
home
you
from work, my day job, IT guy,
right.
I want to hit the YouTube, my second job now. So I'll like start editing, which is a long process.
Right.
You guys know.
Yes. We've been there once or twice.
So I just jump on that. I have dogs. Also, I have a 2 miniature dachshunds.
Yeah.
Portillo's girlfriend, if he's ever looking for
Sure,
anybody.
yeah, totally.
I got 2 to choose from.
Okay.
Black
Oh, wow,
and brown
okay.
Dogs.
Pepper and Piper?
Piper and Dolores.
Dolores.
They're super cute. Love
Pepper and Piper. Dolores.
I forgot. I knew one of them was named Pepper.
Piper and Dolores.
Piper.
But yeah, so I'll do YouTube, do the dog stuff, hang out with Jenny, my wife. She also is not a big cooker. She is excellent at cooking, but doesn't cook regularly where it's like a...
Yeah.
So we'll like get some type of takeout most of the time. We've been doing better recently, but as far as like decompressing before I go to bed, like Frasier, watch like Frasier.
Frasier, all right.
Or
This
is good.
Seinfeld.
I-
Is this
Frasier.
on Netflix or is this
Netflix.
Okay,
Frasier's
okay.
on Netflix,
Or
yeah.
Hulu. Seinfeld's has Hulu.
Okay.
Has them all. We do commercial-free Hulu, which is fantastic. So there's no commercials.
It's worth it.
It's so worth it.
You
I
gotta
haven't had
fucking do
TV
it.
service for like 8 years.
But there's still ads in it, right?
No.
They finally
there's-
did away
there's
with
two
that?
tiers.
Okay.
There's 2 tiers. It's like
Okay.
you can either pay like the $10 or $13.
Yeah.
13
Gotcha.
gets rid of it. Yeah, I mean, you're right. The last thing I want to say is the Gia ritual definitely involves watching a lot more shitty TV than anyone could imagine.
But that's
Sure.
for me. That's a good shut off. Is just to like lay in bed and
Yeah,
watch it.
it's
kinda
mindless.
But I do have to like struggle with the phone because I'm like checking my YouTube, like trying to reply to comments and be active. And but I gotta just put that down and just like listen to the calming Frasier and
We
We were talking about Frasier on the show the other day, and I'm like, you don't realize how formulaic that show is unless you watch like 10 in a row. You're like, it's the same fucking episode every
Yeah.
time. Just Frasier does something stupid, or Niles
that's
does
why
something
it's easy to
stupid.
go to sleep to because it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I've seen this before.
I don't have to think too hard on this one.
But it's true, like, and that's why I don't like playing videos before I go to bed because I'm always problem solving in that Whereas in Frasier, they solve their own stupid ass problems. And if you miss half of it, you're like, who gives a shit? Like there are times with Frasier, I'm like, did I finish that episode? And then I'm like, do I give a fuck? Do I care? Just go on to the next episode.
I'm sure Roz got out of it okay.
Right. Yeah, whatever Raj's new relationship tragedy is, Frasier helped her fix, or whatever, vice versa. I'm similar to you guys, where like, but I have to be like really cognizant of it. Like I've been dabbling a little bit in meditation these days, to like mindfulness exercises, to turn my brain off, because recently I've had a lot of problems just staying up till like 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning, just staring at the ceiling, I mean, good things and bad things. Like I'm saying, like, so my nightly rituals generally, if I can muster the gusto for it, I'll go to a workout to some degree. Maybe it's yoga, maybe it's jiu-jitsu, maybe it's lifting. Sometimes I take the night off, but I'll go and then I'll come home, usually go out and buy something way too ridiculously expensive for dinner, because we never cook, ever. By that point, my wife has already eaten dinner. So we'll because she comes home way earlier than I do. So, she's off work usually around 6 or 7 sometimes. And I'll come home, if it's after the gym or after jiu-jitsu, it'll be like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'll eat as fast as I can, so I'm not eating too late. And then we'll talk for 30 minutes, or maybe an hour, hang out. Then she goes to bed. I tuck her in, which I like. It's one of my nightly rituals. Is I get to tuck my wife into bed every night, because she goes to bed at like 10. And then I have basically from 10 to like 1 o'clock
Nick
to do
time.
whatever I want.
Jerk it.
There will be, there's definitely some slow jerking happening in there. That's just happening. Like, but that has to be, you have to gauge, right? Because sometimes my wife fucks with me, and I'll be like, it's been a half hour. She's clearly in deep REM. Oh no, the door's open, and she has one more question for me. And it's like, like there's been a couple of times where she's like this. It's not warm. So why is your shirt off? And she knows why. I'm very open with my wife of like.
So wait, you're okay. I know this is slightly different topic, but the rituals of Nick time.
Yeah.
Your shirt's off?
Sometimes the shirt's
Took the
off.
question right out of my mouth, Tim.
Sometimes the shirt's off. Yeah. Sometimes
Like,
I walk
are you
around
like
and
George
just be
Costanza going to the
what
bathroom here?
scenario? You're
Oh,
like,
in any
all right,
scenario.
I'm going real hard.
Oh, sometimes I'll just be like this. No, so
What did I walk into?
Jesus.
Exactly what you think you walked into, Kev.
Here's how it'll work sometimes. We have a floor-to-ceiling length mirror in my apartment.
Oh, God, stop there.
It gets better.
Right? So sometimes I'm just in my boxers because I like to look at myself walk past the mirror. If I've just worked out, I'll like flex my tricep.
yoked.
Gives me a little ego boost.
He's got mad tries.
And then also, I have radiators in my house. So when my wife will leave the doors closed, it will be 95 degrees in every room. Like to the point where, so I'll be like, I have to like just be in my boxers right now to cool off.
Yeah.
And then I'll open the window a little bit, and then it'll,
Bounce out.
Then it'll bounce
Do you have
out.
AC?
No, there's no AC in San Francisco. Just in general.
So I love everything about that, Nick, but goddamn, I wish that story ended with you. Sometimes I just like to just watch myself jerk.
Oh, that's only in hotels. Yeah. That's when you get into the hotel room, you got to break that fucker up. You ever break in a new hotel room, you're like this. I got 20 minutes. The guys want me downstairs in 20 minutes, and then you're just like, there's a floor-to-ceiling mirror there. Let's just angle that so I can see my own asshole, and let's go.
Jesus.
Let's just go. You know what I mean?
Now I'm with you with the hotel ritual of
all.
Usually when you get to a hotel, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, why not break
let's
that in?
do it. But I'm not like
It's
looking
like a
at
dog.
I don't
it's
look
like
at myself in the
walking his
mirror.
territory. It's kind of like a little bit in the corner, a little
Oh
bit in the corner.
Jesus God, no.
Make sure the sheets stick together. Make sure that magazine they have that no one ever looks at is just glued shut.
I need to look at that magazine sometimes.
You don't look at that fucking
No,
magazine.
no.
No, so like from 10 to midnight is when I start the decompression process, right? And I love it because I don't have to talk to anyone. Like we spend so much of our day talking to people that it's nice to just not say anything for 3 hours. Sometimes I'll play a game. Most of the time I write at least for 30 minutes to an hour every night. I'll just either work on screenplay ideas that I have or animate show or just things that like when it's quiet that I can just focus and I find that very relaxing. Although that is a double-edged sword sometimes too, because if I get on a good thread, then I'll be like, oh, that's awesome. I just wrote for 2 hours and it's time to go to bed. But then I don't really want to do that. I want to like watch
That's the
TV
problem,
for at least
man.
an hour.
Yeah.
So now it's from midnight to 1 and then, but I've learned not to fight it. If you're ever like, this is what I do if I'm ever in my own head, and this is a great tool to recommend for everyone, is that if you're in bed and you're trying to force yourself to go to sleep, you're not going to go to sleep. So what I do is I change the circumstances. I go out to the couch, get comfortable, turn on Star Trek, the original show, and I'll just watch an episode, and without fail, 30 minutes, right around the time that like Kirk starts trying to like get on whatever girl they've introduced, I'll start falling asleep, no matter what.
Do you go to the bed or you stay on the couch?
I usually wait until I'm barely able to find the PS4 remote.
Yeah.
And then I hit it, and then I'm back to bed and I'm done.
Nice.
So that's.
See, sorry, go ahead.
Continue, go ahead.
It's interesting you say that because for me, I don't give up. When I'm in bed and I can't do it, it's one of those where I'm like, all right, I'm clearly still running off on whatever idea thread I need to do, and it'll be that shut my mouth, breathe through my nose and focus on it, and the deep breaths of breathing through my nose or whatever. And that slows me down and gives me something to focus on enough to where then I start drifting
So that's
off.
where the mindfulness comes in. So
Yeah.
sometimes, like lately, I've been messing around with just doing like, there's an app called Calm, where it's just like 5 to 10 minute like mindful meditation exercises that you can do, and it really works. It's crazy.
So, Greg, you were talking that way, and I
Yeah.
totally said it. I thought you said instead of drifting off, I thought you said jerking off.
I'll be breathing through my nose, jerking off, and I'll just drift away.
Yeah, totally.
Wake up, dick in my hand.
happening?
Pretend
Have
to
you
stare at
guys
me.
ever tried the counting sheep thing?
No.
As a kid.
I was one of them, like, that's some bullshit.
bullshit.
But recently, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping, just in like, I don't know, maybe the last 2 years. And every single time I try that, it eventually works.
Yeah.
It just takes a long
Do you
time.
visualize the
It's like-
sheep?
Oh yeah,
Do
totally.
you visualize the
I
sheep, like the
visualize
sleep
sheep.
number sheep
So-
with like
so-
the number on them as they go?
No, so the thing is, they're just sheep. But that's the thing is, every time it's kind of
3.
different. But that's the problem is you need to not let your mind get there because man, I've gotten a little too creative. And then you start thinking about how cool these sheep can be and what they're doing.
Like, where
and
they
how
go
wear
when they're
little
not being
shirts.
counted.
See
and
that-
like what happens? Well, are they just walking? Like there's so much that goes on. You can't let yourself get there. You need to just focus on the numbers. And that's why what I've started doing is take the sheep out of the equation and
Fuck these sheep.
just count. And it's like there's been times I've gotten to literally like because I remember I was like, holy shit, I counted up to 1,300 something last night, and I was like, but I don't remember past that,
Yeah.
so I fell asleep.
See,
I feel like that is a level of meditation, by the way.
yeah, no, totally. Something to focus on.
Yeah.
That's what meditation's all about.
The problem is you got to
You're
keep the sheep
centering
out
your
of it
mind.
because like
That's
they
true.
distract.
Well, what
you.
I
the
like
last
about it
little
is
sheep.
when I'm trying to force myself to sleep and it starts to work, and I'm getting, and I'm not dreaming, but I've gotten onto such a weird random story that I'm telling myself or whatever in there where I'm like, oh man, I was almost there. Like that's how close I was because
yeah.
I was hung up on A, but I'm all the way over here talking about X that has nothing to do with anything. I have a dream about Fat Joe then.
Jesus.
You know, California just recently passed some stuff that would actually help with disconnecting and turning off your brain.
Yeah.
not for me.
You would
Yeah.
think, but then that helps me to connect with my cabinet where all the food is and the refrigerator. Because my
yeah.
other problem is night snacking. That's something that I love to do. I fucking love night. Because I snack when I'm bored. Like I use basically food as a tool for every like unfortunate
Every emotion?
reinforcement. Everything. Yeah. Oh, I'm super happy. Let's celebrate. I'm gonna eat. Oh, I'm bummed out. Let's eat. I have nothing to do right now. I've got 10 minutes to kill. Let's eat. Like so. Oftentimes, like, and sometimes when I'm on like a crazy low carb diet, like I will be really hungry, and so I'll wake myself up. I'll wake up. I've woken up at like 2 or 3 in the morning before going like, oh shit, I'm really hungry. And at that point, you have to just go eat something.
Or smoke a cigarette.
But I don't do that anymore. Thank God. But yeah, that used to be the best. When I was single, I'd be like, I'm up, cigarette, Diet Coke, right back to bed. Those two do not make you go to bed.
I was gonna say that didn't sound right at all.
Stimulants.
No, but snacking is my number one worst thing that I do because I fucking love it. There's nothing that goes better with Netflix than like a giant bowl of like crunchy
Yeah,
goldfish.
Nick's is a snacker. I can attest to Nick as being a snacker,
snacker.
throughout his life.
She is
Definitely
a snacker.
Is she?
The biggest snacker, and she likes to just snack in the most obscene places, namely my car and my bed. And it's just
bed
like,
snacking is unacceptable.
It's just unacceptable.
You can't eat in the fucking
she's
bed.
turning Jen, dude.
I know.
She's turning Jen.
I'm well aware of Jen snacking there, and then like we did room service stuff with the comic. She gave, let's eat it in bed. I'm like, it's not a thing I
slippery
do.
slope.
I don't really do that. Like
Well,
we're
in
eating
a
bread,
hotel,
like
it's
it's all
okay.
crusty. I know, but still, like I'm setting a bad precedent.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It's like
no,
Portillo.
man.
You let him
It's-
jump up on your lap.
Yeah.
This is the
I'm
problem.
giving him
What
the
did you
treat.
eat on the
Can't do
bed
it.
with the top with like the
Sure,
bedspread?
and that's fine in a
Like, that's
hotel.
on the
but
bed. That's
yeah,
not
yeah.
in the bed.
But it's weird to eat in my bedroom. My bedroom. You know what I mean? It's happened a few times, whatever, where Colin's entertaining or doing something out there. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I want to give him his privacy.
Yeah.
Instead of in there with like at my desk eating like a dinner. I'm like, "Ooh, I just cooked this like steak and this stuff. I'm sitting there like, oh,
Yeah, man,
well,
it's the whole thing. But like she has this addiction to Pringles, specifically the green sour cream and
Pringles
onion
the
ones, and that makes sense to me. I get it.
They're the bomb.
It's that and the hot Cheetos, which duh. But her fucking thing with the Pringles is. And I know this just to be true. She doesn't just want to eat Pringles. She only wants to eat Pringles when there's no Pringles in the house. So it's one of those things where she starts thinking like, what snacks do we got? Okay, we got that shitty popcorn that she likes, and we got the whatever, like all
Smart
these
popcorn or whatever it
yeah, the really white popcorn.
Yeah, white cheddar.
Yeah, it's like there's all these like, things she goes to. She's like, I don't want any of that. I want Pringles. What's Tim doing right now? He looks real comfy on that computer
Yep.
chair.
Yep.
Hey Tim, do you want Pringles right now?
No, I'm good.
I haven't wanted Pringles in 20 years.
Why Pringles?
Like, do you want to go get me Pringles? I'm like, I'll go get you Pringles.
how close are Pringles to you?
About a block and a half walk.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is
Not
not too bad. But when it's like,
no, I
I'm
get
like,
you.
okay. But I mean, the thing is, I'm
Too
like,
close.
whatever.
That's
I'm
the
like,
problem. She expects
you know what?
you to be able to get Pringles.
She's never asked me to do something where I've said no. I'm like, all right, I'll get. I've given her so much shit to deal with in my life. Kevin Coelho being one of those things.
Yeah, he's unfortunate.
You do. And you're
But then you
amazing.
guilt her at the movies, and it becomes a whole thing, and then we all had to deal with that.
She fucked up in the movies, all right? Don't fucking turn this around about
He was
me.
talking about this the other day. What happened with this?
It was one of those where you like, I remember, I think Jen was like, Kevin's kidding, right? I'm like, oh no, he's dead serious.
No,
This is a real
Kevin-
thing.
yeah.
Setting.
You know when we're in group settings and Kevin likes to be like the alpha male, like
That-
everyone
what-
pay attention to me.
That's
Right.
not
I'll be
what
really
happened.
Yeah, Gia accidentally didn't do that.
It wasn't accidentally.
It was when we went to
She
see
like full on asked me.
the last movie we went. So Logan.
Logan,
And when
okay.
you and because you, me, and Jen were at the one end, and I was towards the middle.
Yeah.
And Kevin
This
was
is
over here, and
bullshit.
Gia was there, and
Gia asked me a question
then turned around.
and then immediately turned around and just asked Jen the same question as I was answering it. And it was like, what the fuck? And then she did it again.
Homie, don't
So
play
what
that.
gets me about Gia and the Pringles is that it's never just like if it was just a minor discomfort to me, I'm like, all right, fine, I'll do this. But it's always like, okay, it is 9:57
And they close at
and
10.
Walgreens closes at 10. Oh, you want me to run? You want me to? Never missed out on Pringles.
Get a bike.
But every single time I go there, they don't have the sour cream one. I'm
Awesome.
like, stop asking me for the sour cream one. And so now she has
They
this
don't
war.
stop
She has a
sour cream.
fucking war with this Walgreens. How do you not have the green Pringles? Solid point. Solid point.
Sure.
Do they have a suggestion box?
But I, mean, I don't know. I should actually look into, they do
for
have a dude that stands outside like, whatever.
Have you
Tweet 'em.
now? Have you thought about getting ahead of this? Secretly ordering a bunch of Pringles and stashing them in a tall drawer she
thinker.
can't get to.
You know what?
Gentlemen.
Tall drawer. She can't
She's tiny. She's a tiny little girl.
very small.
Give it to the Prius seat.
You know what?
There's plenty of storage.
I haven't thought about it. I should probably just
Because
stock
that would
up
be
on them.
that would be the most baller move. If she's like, Tim, do you want Pringles? You're like,
Boom.
there you go.
My computer
You
desk
pull a
is
rip,
just.
you pull a ripcord, and she's
See-
just pelted with green Pringle.
Greg, I
Pringle.
think you're discounting one small thing.
Sure,
right?
I know.
Which is that
Gia.
no, I mean, because my wife does the exact same thing to me.
Mine does the same thing to me
There's just a
also.
very nice feeling my wife gets when she asks me to do something for her and I go and
Sure,
do
of
it.
course.
I think that's more important than actually having the thing. Like the other
Absolutely.
night, I do this now. This is what I do because I'm with you. I actually wrote it into my marriage vows that I would always go and get my wife frozen yogurt whenever she wanted. Because we were on this, like, she loved frozen yogurt from this specific place, and it was only like 5 blocks away. And I'm like, no matter when you ask me, no matter what's going on, I will always get you frozen yogurt. And so, man, shouldn't have put that in there. But
She takes advantage of that vow.
she does. But she's always been home for like 2 hours before I get home, right? And no matter what, like, she's always cozy on the couch. I don't want to disturb her on the couch. But I know now when I walk through the door, I'm going to talk to her for 5 seconds, and I'm going to act like I'm about to sit down, and I'm getting cozy, but my shoes stay on. Because I know in it, like last night, perfect example. Hey, I got you some Chinese food. Awesome. Thanks so much. About to take you did the thing with the heel.
Yeah,
toes on
yeah.
the heel of the shoe. I stopped. I'm like, no, you know better than this. And I looked at her, and she was like, do we need some dessert tonight?
It's always a
I'm like,
question.
you do. I'm like, you're right. We do need dessert.
Yes.
What are you thinking? She's like, I don't know. What do you think? And I'm like, whatever the first thing I'm going to say is wrong, so just get it
So,
out.
okay.
Frozen yogurt. No. No, that doesn't sound right. How about we get a couple Diet Cokes? Like, you want a couple Diet Cokes, right? I'm like, sure. I was just going to go get them. So I'm going to the store anyway. You read my mind. She's like, I think I want these specific little chocolates that they have at the store. Just the yellow ones. And I hate doing this because I have to go to the fucking liquor store and I look at the guy and he looks at me and he just shakes his head. And I have to fucking lemur root through all these tiny little chocolates to find these yellow ones that she likes. And then if they don't have them, I have to be like, yo, bro,
Do you have any of those?
do you have another box of these? And the box, he's opened so many fucking of these boxes that it's overflowing with
What
all
chocolates
the
are these?
they're these little, they're these Ritter Sport chocolates.
Okay.
They're European chocolates. They make them in the big bar, but she doesn't want that. She wants
Sure.
the 3 little tiny ones. And so I've had him open up so many of these big boxes of them that he just to pour them on top so I can root through. And they're overflowing constantly. And this guy sees me, he just shakes his fucking head. And I'm like, I'm married. What do you want from me? Like, that's what you got to do. You do this for your wife because she would do it for me.
Aww.
It's true.
If you didn't know, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a few bucks and get every episode early, along with a bunch of exclusive goodies, perks, and other things. But if you have no bucks to toss, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we post the entire show topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big video and MP3. Stu,
Yes.
You've been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
You
by.
guys have been fun too.
Thanks for making him the guy he is.
Thanks for lunch.
No problem.
And the beers.
No. Wheelie Cool Vids.
That's it.
That's how they find
Really
you.
cool videos.
Cool.
I also have a blog, wheeliecoolvideos.com, because sometimes after the cameras get shut off, I remember other things,
Sure,
other stories that can't make the cut. I like to keep the videos like 10 minutes. I don't like to go too long. I respect your guys' time.
What do you want on Twitter? Wheelie Cool Vids?
Wheelie Cool Videos. Or actually, it's
So, okay.
Wheelie_cool on Instagram. And
I don't want to get crazy here. Let's have a fucking focus.
Yeah.
10,000 subscribers is the goal.
Right.
You're currently at 8,500.
500-ish.
So we need 1,500 people
Please.
to subscribe to youtube.com/.
Wheelie Cool Videos. If you guys like cars
Cool
out there,
videos.
WHEELY.
that's right.
Gotcha, just make sure.
No,
No,
IE.
IE.
IE. No, that's fine.
Really?
Because you said like really, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, if you guys like cars, I promise you I have some excellent content on cars, high quality video and audio, excellent modified cars, just not your normal stock Porsche. I got the Porsche that the guys put like an extra 30 grand into and dialed it in.
All right. Well, cool.
Dream cars all day.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Until next time,
Appreciate
ladies
it.
and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Hey, thanks for watching. You can subscribe to the channel here. You can support us on Patreon there. You can go over to Kinda Funny Games, support us there because we put up a whole bunch of other shows and things to distract you. And then you can click on that mystery box. Kevin, what's the mystery box? The playlist. It's got a whole bunch of playlists of things we've done before.